Whoa! What is up, folks? Got my vaporwave mall soft music playing. Yeah, it's nice and chill. It's all OG AI music now from here on out. Anyway, enough of that. How's everybody doing? We got a couple people watching. We got Jamalama now doing his Tahiti surf picture. I will check out that video. And then we've got Blue Collar Loser driving, drinking, listening to the chat, texting, working. What else is he doing? Masturbating. He's doing everything at once. He's eating. How was Leon's show today? Words of Paradise. I made him some fun little theme music last night, like I said I would after Dorkside. And I was up until the wee hours, and I did watch 2 movies. One of them, I'll talk about both of them briefly tomorrow on Nielsen ratings. But something else I watched, I will talk about in great deal tonight. There is a little bit of spoilers on the thumbnail that we are talking about BET's new remake of the 90s cult classic Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Now, for those of you that are actually fans of the channel and watch my videos, I know there's about 30 of you out there. Yeah, me and Amateur Analyst, we watched the original Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, did a funny commentary for it, and it was Analyst's first time watching it. Abomination AJ's here. I'm not here because the movie is black. Well, you guys are going to be kind of surprised to find out that I actually didn't hate the movie. It's not terrible. If you hadn't seen the original, and if you are a young black gentleman or lady and you want something more current, you don't want to watch a 30-year-old kids movie, you could watch this movie and still get the overall message. I think we'll talk about the finer nuances. Some of the changes, updatings, and what have yous worked for me. Some of them were improvements a little bit. Some of them weren't. Some of them didn't work so much. But overall, the core concept is still there. I mean, this is what happens when you just remake a movie pretty much note for note. Yeah, and this is one of those times where you just race swap just the main characters. You don't even race swap the auxiliary characters, the supporting characters. They're all still white. Yeah, you just race swap the characters, and it's great because you don't really change the characters. You don't really break them. Don't tell mom the babysitter's black. No, Mrs. Sturak is still a white lady. Sorry, I don't text with passengers in the car. Lol, says Blue Collar Loser. Yeah, that's because he'll get a 1-star rating. That's why they'll tell on him, on his Uber overlords. But he says Leon is awesome. His female guests were brutal. Tons of fun. Are they fat? Oh, you're saying it was a ton of fun. I gotcha. Well, I'll check the rewatch of that. Look, I was up till about 8 in the morning last night. This is what's cool about doing the Dork Side on Sundays now. We do a 5.5-hour stream, and it's like 1:30 in the morning. So I was up. I did some work. I've been working on did a poster for Tommy Davidson. There's also a Stevie Wonder tribute night that I needed to do some art for. I was up a couple hours doing that, and then I don't know, to wind down, I decided to watch a movie or two, and next thing I knew, it was 8 in the morning. And yeah, I basically woke up 4 hours later around noon. The cat woke me up, and I decided to just stay up for a couple hours. But then I went back to bed at about 2:30, 3 o'clock, right before Leon's show started, which is why I missed it. And then I woke up at 6 p.m. And then I went to the store, did some more work, and bought a bunch of shit. You know, every time you go to the store, it's $100 worth of groceries. I spent $80 today, so that's not terrible. But I did buy a bunch of shit. Couponing. I am a big couponer, guys. I don't know if you know that. I'm not an extreme couponer, but I definitely get a stack of coupons, and that kind of dictates the shopping list. Blue Collar Loser says, I actually want to hear you discuss Adaptation. It's a weird movie. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that and watching that tomorrow at I'm guessing noon CST tomorrow. We are all hostages to Lord Toxic's schedule. So yeah, probably about noon, maybe a little earlier. But yeah, adaptation. We were picking movies for Gemini season, or I guess I was, and I knew Wes would want The Prestige. I knew it was a toss-up between Twins and Double Impact. And then I went ahead and also got rid of there was another movie we decided not to do, but Wes is the one who was suggesting also doing Legend with Tom Hardy ×2. And he said it's essential viewing, especially for twin movies. I got to say, I've never seen it, so I'm excited for that. But I did feel like a little resistance against adaptation with 2 Nicolas Cages. And I was like, hell no, that movie's definitely going on the list. And you'll see why tomorrow. The movie's hilarious, weird. It's awesome. It's everything. And it's Academy Award nominating. And like Blue Collar says, Twins is a little too obvious and I think a little fresh in everyone's memory. We've all seen it a bunch, or at least a bunch of people have seen it a bunch. Double Impact, like none of us remember it. We all remember watching it as a kid. I can't remember the last time I watched Double Impact, so I'm excited about that. So that'll be on Blue Collar Losers channel for the next few Tuesdays, starting in a few hours, about 13 hours from now. But we did a big Blue Collar Losers celebration yesterday. I realized it was also Tomby's 1-year channelversary. So shout out to him today. Also, like Blue Collar said, the comic historian has died. Not good. Very sad. And then also breaking news. I won't play the stupid breaking news clip, but yeah, apparently Clobberin' Time also not doing well in the ICU due to a fall and cardiac arrest. We hope he's okay. We hope he turns out gets better. Blue Collar Loser says adaptation isn't like a traditional comedy. I think a lot of people don't get it. Yeah, Wes is probably one of them. I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter if you don't get it. I will explain it tomorrow. Why it's a genius film. And Charlie Kaufman, he's one of those writers that you learn to appreciate his work a lot more the more you see it. Being John Malkovich is very strange, but it's a classic. And Synecdoche, New York, also very strange. What about the MILFs, though? Well, you'll be happy to know there might be 1 or 2 MILFs in this movie. But no, we will probably do 4, 5, and 6 episodes of MILF Manor season 2 in about a week or 2. I'm thinking next Monday, I might want to break down Hereditary, like for no reason, other than just to freak everyone out, because it's one of those movies people say, oh, yeah, that was okay. It's like, I'm going to explain why that's one of the scariest movies ever made. Okay. You guys remember me breaking my cherry on these other streams with the Cannoli Sasquatch's Shining stream. I take my horror pretty seriously, and Hereditary is one of those movies that after, again, rewatching that one a few times, you realize it's cursed. There's something evil about that movie. Jamalama says adaptation is a trip. I like it. Probably get a lot more of it. I watched today since my YouTube education over the last few years. Yeah, I don't want to spoil the discussion about adaptation tomorrow, but yeah, that movie is awesome because I will spoil this. Charlie Kaufman does not have a twin brother. Okay. Like none of that is real. So when you watch this movie, and the fact that that movie was nominated for best adapted screenplay of the Time magazine article about the guy hunting ghost orchids, you have to understand this movie's brilliant. It's insane. This is how all adaptations should be, especially since, we've been talking about it with Wes doing his Consider the Source videos. He just did a second video today for Mystic River, considering the source, basing it off of adaptations. And we all know Leon, he's got his very, strict viewpoints about adaptations. Sammy as well. He's also big in the adaptations. He likes to read the source material. So yeah, We'll talk about all that tomorrow. It's gonna be great. Blue Collar says, "You see the box office for Bad Boys? Hey, summer is here." Are you being joking? Are you joking or being serious? Did the movie make a lot of money or not? I don't know. I heard Will Smith is back in action. I saw an awesome behind the scenes footage shot of Will Smith doing the gunplay gunfight where he's wearing like a body harness camera, and the way how the camera switches from like looking at him with the gun in frame to flipping around and doing first person view with also the gun in frame all in one shot. It's like a weird contraption he's wearing where the camera like swings and pivots and moves back and forth all in one fluid motion, and it's on his body harness. It looks awesome. So yeah. 100 million, says Blue Collar. Is adaptation on any streaming? That's a good question. We should probably consider that before we pick these movies. I mean, for me, all the movies are streaming, if you catch my drift. Apparently, you can watch it for free on Pluto, which means it probably has commercials. I apologize, guys. Oh, well. Yeah, you might need to download it or just wink, wink, say no more, find the website. I think if you have like a serious ad blocker like I do, you could still watch it on Tubi without ads. Yeah, there you go. Jamalama, are you hearing the alt-right dog whistles now? Yeah, they're here. My channel is littered with them. I am an alt-right incel fascist, don't you know? Hey, join the club. Okay, well, guys, I don't want to talk about adaptations. We'll talk about that tomorrow on Blue Collar's channel. Let's get into the meat. Let's dive into what we came here for. Now, the thing that's interesting is when I released the Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead We Watch with me, an amateur analyst, it just happened to coincide with the release of a trailer for this remake, which was like very shocking. It's like, how the hell did that happen? I didn't even plan that. Get into the meat. Phrasing. Yeah, I'm always doing my phrasing. I like to talk about meat and juices and fluids. Sonia's here. Sonia, how's it going? Good to have you, babe. We're going to be diving into it now, I guess. I just happened to see this movie was up on the internet and decided to check it out. And honestly, like I said, didn't hate it. But it's one of those things where it's difficult to watch and not compare it to the original. You know, I got to say, if I hadn't seen the original, I probably would have liked this movie. But because I have seen the original, and the original is superior, at least in my opinion, for nostalgia's sake, and because I'm a racist. No, I'm just kidding. I just want white people. Now, I got to say, the original Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead has 0 black people in the movie at all. There isn't a single black dude in the movie or black woman. There isn't a yeah, no, I don't think so. I think there's like there is one secretary. There's a female secretary in the original who is a black lady, and she has about 4 or 5 lines. No, she has 1 or 2 lines. She says, "I'm just a temp. I'm not supposed to be here." Like I said earlier, this is one of those times where you can race swap characters and keep the characters intact. I didn't mind it. Now, there's a lot of stuff they kept totally the same. A lot of stuff that they changed, they updated for modern audiences. Some of it I liked, some of it I didn't. And I guess we'll just get into it. Now, first of all, BET. That is quite a shocking thing to see. Let's see. Yeah, a BET original movie. Now, if you're a fan of the Boondocks, like I am, you have heard all the stories, all the jokes, all the parodies about BET. The fact that BET Plus, like they've got their own, BET's got their own streaming service now. How many interracial couples and trans people? No interracial couples. Actually, no, one interracial couple. But then also there is a I'm not going to spoil it here. Well, there's both yes to both of those Black lives. Now I got to say, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on Lance's channel, but I also watched a movie called Trim Season which is about a horror movie about weed trimming, trimmigrants. I've always wanted to see a movie like that, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, you do see some zipper tits in that movie for no fucking reason. There's a lot of pronouns and stuff in that horror movie. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. This movie wasn't nearly as offensive as that. It's funny how, like, previously we used to be offended by, like, movies with extreme graphic depictions of rape and violence and adult subject matter like drugs and pornography and nudity. But now it's like, oh god, hey, my name's Tiffany, they them. That's what offends us now. It's like, why'd you put that in the movie? Anyway, also, yeah, Gooch is here. Hello. Yeah, everyone was, I assume, watching the MMM for Inside Out. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun watching adults argue about children's movies. I want to do a in-depth Stupenzocast dissection of Encanto. That's one of those movies that I not only hate that movie, but I think like that is one of those prime examples of all the cliches that are wrong with modern writing. Not even the fact that it's a kids movie. The fact that it's a kids movie actually makes it worse because you're like programming these kids to believe these shitty hero stories of the modern age. The hero stories of the modern age are all about validation. Instead of the hero going on a journey and solving a problem and changing as a result of it, what happens is the character is simply pleading with all the other characters that they should listen to them. Please listen to me. I'm right. You got to understand. You got to believe me. And instead of the main character changing, the other characters, they're the ones who change. They realize, holy shit, the main character was right all along. We should have listened to you. And that's how it ends. And then the main character is validated and feels good about themselves. And it just shows that all these modern writers, their main agenda, their main desire in life is just to be respected and to have power over people. I don't know. Jim Dow, but it's bad. I couldn't find anything to like about it. Are we talking about what are we talking about? Trim season? I don't know. So anyway, let's continue with this movie. I don't want to be talking about it all night, but I probably will. Oh yeah, Encanto is bad. Yes, I agree, Jim Dow. There's nothing at all to enjoy about it. It is a movie that it's very it's a cliche stereotype of the fat 40-year-old white guy getting enraged by a Disney movie. But yeah, that's me with that movie. I watched it and not only didn't like it, but I was like literally angry by it. So yeah, maybe we should do a stream about that next week instead of Hereditary. I feel like Hereditary, I can go in blind. I can go in like without doing any kind of research or notes or anything. I can just turn it on and start talking about it because I know that movie. Encanto, I kind of need to revisit and bust out the notepad. I just think this is so much easier than just making a edited analysis video. My Renfield video, trying to get it under 20 minutes long. I don't want to be talking about it for forever, but there's just so much wrong with it. So it's just it's like a sculpture. You got that marble slab and you're just peeling away the layers until the Adonis is underneath it, No, I think we'll talk about Hereditary next week. And the Acolyte. No, I'm kidding. I was very proud of us that we only talked about the Acolyte for about 10 to 15 minutes yesterday. Can we stop? Can we stop giving it oxygen, guys? Like the oxygen in the space flame? Can we just stop acknowledging it? Just imagine if the Acolyte came out and not a single fucking video was put out about it. Imagine if we all just collectively as a YouTube, I hate to use this gay word, but a YouTube community. What if we all came together and just be like, hey guys, the day after the Acolyte premieres, let's not do videos. Let's just not talk about it. Let's, I did the Ewok movies instead. That was fun. Wouldn't that have been amazing? I just imagine how much everyone would have gone crazy. Imagine how much Headland would have lost her shit if none of the trolls were talking about her dumb show the next week. But no, we literally talked about it for hundreds of hours collectively. So it's going to be, I think that's the next move, guys. I think that's the next move. The next time, yeah, Black Lives gets it. Yeah. Instead, the next time Disney puts out another shitty Star Wars movie or show, let's just collectively just, you know how when you were in middle school or elementary school and you would just ignore the kid, like play the ignore him game and act like he doesn't exist and watch him go crazy? Why don't you hear me? Just keep talking over him like he's not there. That would drive people nuts. The Shills would have claimed victory either way. Yeah, you're right. Hey, let them. That's the thing. They claim victory anyway, so just let them. Just let them claim another stupid victory. I just think we should just stop exerting effort. Let's get upset about older movies like Encanto. This movie, I'm happy to say, did not upset me. You're not going to be hearing me yelling about black people or anything or any, I was actually very, I don't want to say delighted by this movie, but honestly, I didn't really find it very offensive. And I guess it kind of shows, it's a testament to how strong the original is. The fact that you can take this movie, take all the main characters, keep their names, keep everything pretty much intact, except just race swap them. And the movie's still great. I mean, the movie still holds its own, it's a good story. Blue Collar Loser says, honestly, I only watched The Acolyte because Lance asked me to. You poor bastard. Yeah, I wasn't going to watch it. People don't ask me to watch the new shit because I usually don't. And I'm usually bragging about how I don't. I was just like, I don't care. But I was bored at 5 a.m. and I decided to watch The Acolyte. What's funny is the next week when everyone was talking about Acolyte, I was like, I saw The Acolyte. Do you have room on the panel? They're like, nah, we're all full up. Only the heavy hitter people with 100,000 subscribers are allowed to talk about The Acolyte on these channels. By the way, I am back down to 398 subs. I hit 400 subs twice already. Let's see if I can hit 400 subs a third time. I don't care if it's the algorithm screwing me over and just unsubbing, or if it's actually people just tired of my shit and they're unsubscribing. I still think it's funny. The dishes is done, son. Oh, man, that would have been funny. Dental misorder. That would have been. That was a missed opportunity. All right, well, we're 30 minutes into the stream, and I still have the BET Plus logo on the screen, so maybe we'll continue. Now, I got to say, I was ranting and raving the other week on Lance's channel about a fun little romantic movie starring some black kids in London. It was called Rye Lane. Watch that movie. It was wonderful. It was a charming little romance film. And it was one of those movies, like I said, at the end of it, you're just like putting your fists in the air, yelling, kiss her, kiss her. And then the main character kisses her and you're like, yeah, it's one of those good movies. It was great. And the reason why I bring it up is one of the things about it was filmed in this aspect ratio that we're seeing right here, this super CinemaScope widescreen. Now, a problem with that nowadays, pretty much most through the 90s and early 2000s, especially with the prevalence of DVD, every movie was getting released in widescreen on home video formats. So every movie was being filmed in CinemaScope for no reason. Now, what I liked about Rye Lane was they did the 1950s, 1940s, 1950s and 60s style of, framing these wide shots properly, like having stuff in the frame, filling the whole left to right, making it all make sense. But what we get nowadays is basically everything has to be in the center. And this is one of those movies that does that poorly. It has this awesome super widescreen CinemaScope. It's got that awesome lens blur where the edges are softer of the frame, that you get a softer focus on the edge, but they don't do anything cool with the framing. It's always like the main subject is right in the center, so that way when this is cropped for your television or for whatever, everything on the left and the right is kind of useless information. It's perfect for pan and scan, which I don't really appreciate. But that being said, really good use of color in this movie. Really good use of, I want to say this, it does kind of give this like fake I don't know, I want to say 90s vibe, even though it is modern day. You've got Sue Ellen and her friends at the thrift store at the beginning of the movie, just like in the original. This movie's insane. It's like 90% the same. I'm not even joking. Jamalana says people need to watch a video or they get dropped. Yeah, that is true. I'm probably just losing subs that way. Not against Lance because he works in the industry, but the other channels bitch Star Wars is dead. Yet they all keep fucking watching. Yeah. Kiss the girl. Yeah, is that Sebastian? Good job. Jamalama, I want to watch Predator The Dark Ages. Predator Dark Ages, I think, is on YouTube. So, and Lance did interview the director today. So, yeah. Blue Collar Loser says, it's why I've been loving hanging out with Gooch and the Pumpkin, Gourd King, tired of fuckers being on YouTube just to complain 7 days a week. Yeah, I mean, that's where the big bucks are, apparently. Blue Collar Loser says, I love Tuesdays and Thursday nights on Gooch's so much. Yeah. I think Tuesday night I will be on Gourd Kings to talk about Collateral. I definitely shoehorn my way on that stream, and then happened to find out last minute that Gourd King is going to putting a hiatus on the King's Court. I love moaning, says Tomby. He's British. See, yes, I sent Tomby his little intro video. I guess I'll play it for you now. We didn't get to play it last night. I thought Tomby was going to stop by. And anytime he does, it's going to be, this is his intro video. Here it is.
Feel the fire, to me. Turn me higher, to me. Lift me higher, to me.
How catchy, right? Now, I was joking with Tomby how he got me over 400 subs last Monday with his alts. I was like, hell yeah. And then I went down, pecked down to 396. And now I did get up to 400 again yesterday. And now I'm back down to 398. It's hilarious. Plus being awesome at gaming and making tea. Yeah, I had the tea. I had to put the tea in the intro. Vince and Antone here. Yo, Enzo. What is up, Vince? How you doing, buddy? Check out Vince's music, guys. He's if you're into that that electronic womp womp stomp stomp, get your damn adrenaline pumping. Check out my buddies. Vincent. How are you doing? You still playing on the road, I'm guessing. Tommy means teabagging. Yes. So I guess continuing with the film, you've got the same exact plot. It's literally the same. I think the only difference is these girls are getting ready to go to Spain, just like in the original. Vincent says he's doing good, taking a break from work and thought I'd stop in for a sec. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate it. We're going to be dissecting BETs. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Now, guys, if you want to watch me, an amateur analyst, make fun of the original, please check it out after this video. And yeah, check out Vincent's channel. He does have a very good channel. He does a lot of cool live music, and you might have even heard some of his songs. He's kind of a big deal. He's great. He's moving on up in the world. Aren't we all? Hell yeah. So, to answer your question, Black Lives, yeah, there is I don't know if he's gender fluid. I think this is a guy. He might be just a gay guy or a very gender fluid female. But yeah, they do kind of allude that he's kind of like the token gay best friend. You've got 2 or 3 little lady friends, and of course you got your brother, your sister brother, or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Tommy subbed 8 times. Thank you. Yeah. Blessed the Tommy army. And of course he's fat. Yeah, because that's the thing, is like if you were fit, I don't know. Yeah, usually that was a stereotype that gay guys are typically like way better looking than straight guys, right? Like they take care of themselves. They manicure, they manscape, they get their facial hair on point, and they work out. Right? I mean, that's not a bad stereotype to have, like when people look at me, if I was a gay man, I'd be the saddest gay man in the world. Okay. All right. This is the look of a confident, hetero, lazy asshole. So yeah. Basically they're all getting ready for their trip to Spain, and it's going to be amazing. They're going to have a wonderful time. They're getting all their clothes at the Goodwill because I guess the economy's shit. So you got to buy all your clothes secondhand. I think that's the thing. And this lovely actress who plays Sue Ellen, now a little spoiler, she's the only character in the entire movie who has a new name. Her new name is Tanya. But we do find out at the end, spoilers, that her middle name is Sue Ellen, and they make a joke about it. So, there are some little wink winks, nudge nudges to the original that I didn't mind. I didn't find them cringeworthy. Jim Dow says, Fat Soy Boy, most non-threatening. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you gotta, he's keeping him around, I guess. It's the Mean Girls stereotype, right? Jamalama, Vincent Antone sounds pretty cool. Have a sub. I'll check him out more soon. Yes, gave him a sub. Hell yeah, hearts. Swellin. Yes, that was a funny name. Sue Ellen, yeah. So yeah, she's just called Tanya in this time, and they're getting clothes for their trip. And all of a sudden, emergency phone call. Mother is calling back, and yeah, she basically texts her like a bunch of shit, like, "Hey, they're your kids. You deal with it." But this is a bit of a change from the original. One thing I got to say that's totally the same. The house. I think it's the same exact house. I mean, the layout's the same. The yard, the big yard. I mean, to be fair, it is a crucial plot point later that they have this big kind of, acreage, private property, because that way they can throw the big party at the end at the house. That is kind of important. But literally, this looks like the same house, maybe even the same car from the 90s. Anyway, now one thing I don't mind, I didn't mind it. In fact, I actually enjoyed it, was the character of Kenny, the little brother, the second oldest brother. He is in the original a stoner rocker dude played by what's his name from Toy Soldiers and some other stuff. He is kind of a burnout, a bum, a kid with no ambition or drive. And in this movie, they turn him into a like a black rapper kid with a grill. And it's literally the same shit. It doesn't change anything. It's perfect. It works. And the message is still the same. I mean, the whole point of the movie is you got to grow up. You got to take care of stuff. You got to have some responsibilities if you want to succeed in life. And I appreciated this message was still true. Now, we will get to some problems with the character, the new character, Kenny, later. But yeah, this could have been perfect. This could have been wonderful. I can't recommend it as much as I can the original, for reasons we'll get into later. But as far as the main actress who plays Tanya / Sue Ellen, I was certain that I had seen her in something. But I guess she just looks like another actress I'm thinking of, because, yeah, she hasn't been in much. Now, but can he do it? Yeah. Jim Dow says, so they claim that they had a male character, but without any of that toxicity. Yeah, that is right. Yeah. Also, you could just be pretending to be gay to hang out with a bunch of hot girls. Did you ever think of that? That's kind of more my speed. Going to karaoke all the time. People just assume I'm gay. Then I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm totally into chicks. And the girls are like, oh, weird. All the MILFs. They're like, I didn't realize you were into us that way when we were, doing body shots and stuff. It's like, oh yeah. Anyway, now one of the other things they didn't really change, they just kind of amplified it. The main little girl, the little sister, she, I guess in the original, she's kind of like a tomboy, kind of a little punk, she's like a little skater chick. In this one, she's like a straight up goth, which is also funny, and also a good change, modernization. She's into dark stuff, death. You can see right here in the back of her laptop, she's got like a dead body with a toe tag. It's funny. NATO says it's gay month. Hell yeah, NATO. Remember when? Yeah, where's President Trump? President Trump was hanging out in the chat for a while. And did somebody say toxicity? Yes, we did. I think Jim Dowell said it. Yeah. You have been summoned, Lord Toxic. Check out Lord Toxic's second Consider the Source video, by the way. He's just starting. His technical stuff isn't all there, but his points are sentient. They are good points. That's not the word I'm thinking of. Anyway, this is what happens when I'm doing like 3 things at once. My vocabulary just takes a nosedive. So yeah, and the main actress, she has big titties, so you guys will be happy to know that. Even though she's playing a 17-year-old, but that becomes problematic later. Now, the youngest, the little boy, he is a nerd, a bit of a nerd. So that is another slight change up that I don't mind. In the original, the little kid was just I don't know. He was the little kid from Leprechaun. He was a little brat. I don't know. So we're getting to meet the kids. Now, what's interesting about the mother, first of all, she's a large, portly woman. And instead of, look at this rotund woman, she's built like a linebacker. Now, is this a one, Jamma, or are you talking about one for the sister? I think you're talking about one for the sister. The daughter, Sue Ellen. Now, mother, instead of going on a romantic getaway to Australia with her new boyfriend, which I think is a much, better reason to go out of town, in this one, mother basically had a snapped. She basically snapped at this guy because he was saying, hey, you didn't get the promotion because you don't know how to use Canva. And she does this. She, what does she do? Whoa. That is not how you get that new promotion, ladies and gentlemen. You don't start knocking stuff over. And instead of, just outright firing her like they should have, instead they sent her to some kind of retreat in Thailand to, I don't know, get your temper in check. Seems like a waste of company resources, to be perfectly honest. Surely you could just have her meet up with Cheryl in HR in her little cubicle, and they can just have a little one-on-one session. I don't know. Do you really have to send her to a tropical island resort? I don't think that's the best allocation of company money. Anyway, Jim Dow says that's an 18. The dress size, that is. Black Lies asks if that's Lizzo's sister. Might be. Maybe. Who knows? We know that when Lizzo passes away, and we're gonna need someone to play Lizzo in the biopic. So we'll see. We'll see if she's still around. Anyway, point is, mother is going to a compulsory vacation in Thailand. So because of that, Sue Ellen's Spanish getaway has been canceled, and she now has to stay home and babysit. Now, if I was Sue Ellen, I would say, fuck y'all. I'm leaving anyway. I don't know. Just seems kind of crazy. So yeah, jokes about weed and stuff, definitely plenty of modernized dialogue in this movie. But that's the thing. Like I say, the reason why I like this movie is if you were a young black kid who hadn't seen the original Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, a 30-year-old kid's movie, I mean, I wouldn't blame you. But yeah, I would definitely tell you, hey, watch the remake. You might learn something, son. It might teach you something. It might give you a good lesson, like movies used to do. Lizzo was one of triplets in the womb, but she ate the other two, says Jim Dowell. I don't believe you. I don't think that's true. I think Lizzo is a lovely woman. No, I'm just kidding. I remember when I heard her first song, that big song, I put my hair back and forth or whatever. I don't know, whatever the song. Got my nails did. I look good. Nails did, whatever. I remember hearing that song thinking, hey, this is a cool, catchy song, and this woman can sing. And then, you saw a picture of her, and you're like, oh. The thing is, imagine how much more badass that song would have been if she was hot as hell. Imagine if she looked like Doja Cat and you heard that song about, I look good, got my nails done, going out. It's like, okay, she's going to be painting the town red. Instead, when you see a picture of Lizzo, you're like, oh, she's just painting the town fed. Okay, I got it. Where's his hand going? Says Jamalama. He's standing behind his sister. Black Lives says, how the fuck they all fit without blowing the mom to pieces? Well, mom was obviously a rotund woman. It's the only way it could work. Or Lizzo was born in a lab. Anyway, obviously, we're getting right to it. The Cadillac, the Rolls Royce pulls up. It's the same car from the original. And yeah, Mrs. Sturek shows up. Now I gotta say, she says you could call me ADT because I'll keep you safe or whatever. And just like in the original, Sue Ellen, Tanya slams the door in Mrs. Sturek's face. Now, Mrs. Sturek is played by the lovely old lady who plays Mrs. Schmidt in About Schmidt. If you guys haven't seen About Schmidt, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm always recommending it, especially when we're talking about Jack Nicholson. You probably remember me ranting and raving about Schmidt during one of my curmudgeon streams after The Holdovers came out last Christmas. So yeah, check out that. This woman is a wonderful actress, and she's awesome in this movie. Mrs. Sturek is just as hardcore, except it's actually much worse. I think it would have been better if they had race swapped Mrs. Sturek as well. If Miss Sturek was a old black lady who was yelling at these kids, it would seem little less mean-spirited. This Mrs. Sturek, they intentionally kind of make her racist, because why wouldn't she be? You know, she calls them hoodlums and stuff, and she fires a starter pistol instead of blowing a whistle. That's pretty rowdy. But yeah, of course, as soon as mother leaves, the 180, the mask comes off. Here she goes. She's just telling these kids, get the hell inside, start cleaning the house. You're all basically my slaves, and I have a shitload of spending cash your mama gave me. So good for them. And people are it's all the same. She basically she throws water on the kids, on the young boy smoking weed with his friends in the garage, and tells them, hey, you've got a week to stop smoking weed, and I'm going to start urine sampling you after a week. And if you fail, I'm going to call the cops and tell them you roughed me up. Hilarious. Like, she's way worse in this movie. She's like downright evil. Blue Collar Loser says, funny, when I get a passenger who wants to talk for 10 minutes, so I pause Enzo, then I catch up with him at 1.5 speed. It's comical. You can catch up with me at double speed, honestly. Mandatory racist white person. Check. Yeah. Now, I don't think she ever says anything outright racist. She does, actually. But I think it strikes me as like it's a product of her time, you know? So now she doesn't give off this vibe like she learned racism recently. You know, she's just set in her old ways. But yeah, the daughter is a floozy wearing makeup. The young girl, basically everyone's tired of her. They don't like her. Also, this kid with his grill, hilarious. Kenny and his ridiculous like tiger medallion necklace. Yeah, I don't know. We've gotta basically tell the lady, hey, look, we're sorry we've been misbehaving. We promise we'll do better. But unfortunately, we do have a Bible study today that can't be canceled. I hope you understand. We won't be too loud. Now, this is one of the changes they made to the movie that I don't really like. I don't like it. They basically have a big, huge raging party, which I think is very strange. Now, one thing that I got to say New Kenny has over old Kenny, New Kenny actually appears to hang out with chicks, which is cool. He's actually got some bitches around, some hoes, even though he's a little high schooler. Old Kenny, rocker stoner Kenny in the original movie, he basically hung out with 4 other white dudes, and they just kind of smoked pot in their room and laughed. They were burnouts, burnouts don't really get chicks. So I don't know. This Kenny at least has that kind of appeal to him. But yeah, this is like a huge rager. Loud music, everyone's smoking and drinking, bunch of minors, and Mrs. Sturek is like unaware. It's very strange. And then at one point, so we have to establish that Sue Ellen, even though I don't know, she seems cool enough, she's not. The other cool girls, they don't like her. So they have to establish that it's a big party. We've got Kenny's friends, one of Kenny's buddies. These people will turn up later. But Mrs. Sturek, for some reason, now she's like being alerted to the noise downstairs. It's like, you don't feel the whole house vibrating to the base. I don't know. She goes outside and what's upsetting about this movie is they really make it seem like, she is going to die of shock from seeing the partying. Now, in the original, she doesn't even really meet Kenny. You have to understand, Kenny drives off with his stoner buddies right as mom is basically announcing she's leaving, packing up to leave, right before Mrs. Sturak shows up. And Mrs. Sturak starts, being an asshole to the three other kids. And then she goes into Kenny's room where she sees all the paraphernalia and the food and the garbage and the weed smoking and the big titted models posters on his walls. And she basically just, and she leaves. And then the next time we see her, she's dead. So it's kind of like hinted that it might be it. It's not really. In this movie, they basically make it pretty straightforward that she is so shocked by what she sees outside. People, is that two dudes? It better not be two dudes. It could be. I don't know. People making out, smoking weed. She basically goes to sleep and dies. And I got to say this, this is one of the things that was pretty good transition here. Jim Dowell says the one with the big boobs, only but the character is underage. The actress with the big boobs is older, so I can look at the boobs without shame. Yes, I think so. I doubt this main actress is 17. Just like Christina Applegate. She was not 17 when she was filming Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Thanks to a double mastectomy, I think this girl has bigger boobies. Now, this is a good edit right here. You got the old lady. She goes into bed and lays down, and then this music playing, and then music off, birds chirping, and now the next day she's dead. And it's a funny scene when she finds her sister comes in and says, "Hey, sorry about the noise." And she's like gray and cold. She's clearly dead. And then a funny moment where the old lady falls on her. Now, this is a problem with both movies. This is not a problem that's only with this movie, but the kids deciding to dispose of the body instead of tell anybody. It's very, very dumb. It's a huge glaring plot hole. And it's one of the things that both movies kind of end before we have any resolution to that. But realistically, at the end of the movie, it should be like, hey, where's the babysitter? Oh, she's dead. And we dispose of her body somewhere. Oh, well, you're going to jail. Like, this is a crime. So again, this is no different. I got to say, these kids are way more brutal. And no, Zax, this is not a Medea movie. Believe it or not, this is not Tyler Perry. Although I can't be sure if Tyler Perry would help or hurt this movie. Probably hurt this movie, if I'm going to be honest. Medea. I don't know how you want to say that, Black Lives, but that's funny. All right. Sweet. My first dead body, says the little goth kid. Now that's funny. There were a couple moments in this movie that did make me chuckle. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be a Mr. Hater. I ain't going to be no hater and say this movie ain't shit. This movie wasn't bad. And like I said before, it's very difficult to watch this movie and not compare every beat to the original and, give it points deducted for unoriginality. But honestly, I'm going to give it points up for not straying too far from the source material. That in itself is fresh these days, where you actually kind of respect the source material and kind of don't bastardize it. I was actually kind of happy they did that. Tommy says it's not reasonable in either film for them to go down the line of dump the body. Yeah. I mean, the main reason they want to do it is because they don't want to get in trouble and they don't want their spring break ruined. But the thing is, their spring break was already ruined because mother went out of town and left him with a babysitter. There's, Sue Ellen's supposed to be in Spain. But how they lose the money and the car makes a lot more sense in this movie than it did in the original. In the original, I don't know. They put her body in a trunk. They drop her body off at a retirement home or no, it's not a retirement home. It's a funeral home. And they just said, kind old lady, no relatives. Please, do what you will. Jane Doe. And the guys who work at the funeral parlor are just like, okay. And they find that she had all the spending money on her corpse. They keep it for themselves, and they put her in an unmarked grave for a Jane Doe. Like, none of that is probable. Like, the funeral parlor people wouldn't take the money, I don't think. I mean, maybe they would, but they certainly wouldn't pay to have her, buried on site. They'd probably call the police, just like everybody else should. This movie's way worse. This movie actually is way darker. First, they take her dead body and decide to first bring it downstairs. This is one of the reasons why you shouldn't move a dead body, because let's say you're moving this dead body and, this woman did die of natural causes, and you drop it right on its face. So when they find her dead body eventually, they will see, hey, her nose is smashed in. And, you've suddenly we were moving the dead body downstairs and we dropped her. Well, why the hell were you doing that? It's just one of those things where you shouldn't touch the dead body out of respect. But yeah, she is heavy. She's a short, fat lady. They're dense. They're like a neutron star. Difficult to lift, especially when it's all dead weight. But this is where it gets kind of twisted. They stuff her in a freezer in the garage, which is like, I mean, how are you guys going to even... the reason why they do that is because they want to prevent further decomposition. They don't want it to, age any further. It'll start stinking and stuff. So they're going to put her in the freezer. They put her in the freezer and fasten it with duct tape. And then they open the garage door and there's a fucking cop outside. And he's basically here for the noise or something from last night and some other shit. And this little kid, I don't know, smooth talks his way out of there. They do some Black Lives Matter type jokes about how, this cop isn't going to think we live here. He's probably going to shoot us. He doesn't think this is our house, but nothing actually happens. Just like in reality, the cop's like, all right, you kids just, the phone's not a toy. Oh, that's what happens. Someone picked up 911. The brother picked up 911, dialed it, and hung up. That's why the cop's there. Okay. Jamalama says he's off to bed. Good night, folks. I got to get up super early. Hey, man, thanks for hanging. And yeah, maybe check out the rest of this tomorrow if you want to hear how this goes. So yeah, now we are officially criminals, and we have got to figure out what to do. So what they're going to do is they are going to put her in her own car. This is actually better than the original movie. In the original movie, they get rid of her body and keep her car. Like, what the hell? And then later, her car is stolen by drag queens when they go out to eat. So that's like, this is better. Get rid of the car and the woman in one fell swoop. So what they do is they put her dead body in a car, shove a bunch of alcohol down her throat, like a liter, a whole bunch of alcohol is what they say, like a ton of alcohol, booze. And then the idea is put the car in drive and drive it into a tree. Now, for some reason, they don't foresee that it's going to miss the tree and drive right into the lake that's like right next to it. But it does, and it sinks, and the sister's like, oh, even better, the younger sister. Let's go. Now, both of these siblings, the older brother and the older sister, are shocked at how grisly and hardcore and emotionless the younger sister is. She's basically a serial killer in the making. But yeah, whatever. Let's go back to our car. And honestly, this is a new trend that I'm noticing is like the title of the movie, the credits, the opening credits of the movie happening around the 20-minute mark of the movie. I got to say, like, this is when the title shows up. And we got a song or something playing. It's nice. It's chill. It's definitely a different vibe they're going for, but not a different movie. The dead body won't absorb the alcohol, unfortunately. Yeah, that's something I was thinking of. Like, doesn't the alcohol need to go in their bloodstream, Instead, you're just going to have a gut full of alcohol. In fact, they could probably determine, hey, this woman was given a bunch of alcohol after she died, thus making it look like an accident. Both the original and this remake need a sequel about how the police are totally zeroing in on these fucking kids who committed a very serious crime. I mean, the only way it could get more serious is if they actually did kill her, right? I mean, it doesn't get any worse than what the hell they did. I mean, they might as well have just fucked her dead body too while they were at it. I mean, it's bad. This is the kind of thing that, like, you aren't getting community service for this shit. This is straight up criminal. So anyway, kids driving back their own car, and I gotta say, yeah, Nicole Richie, she is the new Rose. And I gotta say, she's good in this movie. I didn't mind. In fact, most of the laughs I had in this film, I think I laughed audibly like 3 or 4 times watching this, which I admit isn't a lot. And they weren't like, they were like little belly laughs. They were like some good chuckles. I didn't like laugh my ass off or anything. But almost every time I did laugh, it was because Nicole Richie and the character who plays Tanya Sue Ellen, they are interacting. They had some fun lines together, some fun chemistry. I will say the funnier parts, the better parts of the movie, they could have been put in another movie. I feel like the writer had like a few really good lines of dialogue like squared away in their pocket, and they kind of just like whipped them out here for this movie. So that is kind of something. Jim Dow says, do you think the police would treat the original and remake Kids differently for any reason? Yes. And mostly because this Mrs. Sturak in the black version, like I said, she has her face smashed. She has alcohol being put in her body to make it look like an accident. She has the car, the other kids just kind of like got rid of the body. They just kind of they gave it to a funeral parlor, where you're supposed, they didn't like dump it in a dumpster or something or in a lake, they tried to do the right thing. They're stupid kids, I guess. They did steal her car. Now in the original, the old lady has the money on her person, which they put in the car in the trunk, which was stupid. In this movie, the money is in her purse, which is in the back seat of the car, and none of the kids think to grab it. So it's kind of more shame on their part. So yeah, in the original, you wouldn't think the old lady would have like a huge stack of cash like on her person at all times. It seemed weird. But yeah, that's why you gotta always loot the body. Always loot the body, whether you're playing video games or not. Check the pockets. You might find something you need. Okay. So yeah, let's go on to the film. Now, I think this is another one of those movies that had a shitload of executive producers, based on a screenplay by Neil Landau and Tara Ison. It's almost Ison right there. Now, like I said, I was saying, now I don't want to harp too much on the cinematography here, but guys, watch that movie Right Lane. Really fun, really sweet movie starring a bunch of black people in London. Very romantic movie and very well filmed. The framing, really good use of CinemaScope. Here, this is what I'm talking about. Like if you had cropped the movie to just be your standard 4:3, you're still, all the information on the sides here is useless. Like you could get rid of all this. You get rid of all this. All the useful information is usually right there, dead center in the frame, which is not good use of CinemaScope. Yeah, I almost caught that too, Black Lives. I'm glad you did too, Ison. Wouldn't it be funny if the original writers were black people and the remake, a bunch of white people wrote it? That'd be funny. Now, the place is trashed from a party, which kind of makes more sense because in the original, I guess the kids are just pigs. They really trashed the house, just the 4 of them. I think having a huge rager the night before kind of jump starts like how disgusting the house is. And of course, there's no food, or at least they are raiding the fridge. The fridge has been raided. It's empty. And now it's like, hey, we got to figure out who gets a job. They spin the vape, which is very contemporary. And even though it lands on the older brother, they basically say like, he's not going to work. They basically said like, he's not going to do well. You should do it, Sue Ellen, because Kenny does not deal well with authority. So it's kind of, you can tell that Tanya Sue Ellen, she's got it rough. She has to pick up the slack. And now this is a change I don't mind. In the original, she has to get a kid's job. Where did kids work in the 90s? They worked at fast food places. That's where most fast food employees were just teenagers, right? And they were making decent money. And she meets a nice young boy at Clown Dog selling chili dogs. His name's Brian, and he's got a really good disposition. He's very chipper, even though he's wallowing in grease at Clown Dog. He's just a good kid with a smile on him. And but that's the thing, is like he's a chili dog boy, you know. It's not as, I don't know. Sue Ellen could probably do better, honestly, than dating like a guy who works at a fast food place. Especially considering, you know, I think it's like obvious that like they don't really explicitly say it, but in both movies, this character Brian is older than 18. He's probably older than 21. Let's say you meet a girl at your place of employment, or an Uber driver, whatever, and you start dating her. You're like 25 and you find out she's 17. Yeah, that's like, I don't think, you know, anyone's going to send you up the river for that, but it's definitely frowned upon, my man. Even if she did lie to you. But in this one, Sue Ellen, she's got to get the kid's job. So what does she do? She lies about her age, just starts Uber driving. And I'm assuming there are other Uber drivers she gets. But according to this movie, she picks up one guy and basically instantly falls in love with him. Her one and only rideshare. But this Brian is actually an improvement, because he is going to New York to go to architecture school. He's an architect. So it's like, okay, that's a lot better than Clown Dog delivery boy. So at least he's got that like career aspect covered. But she meets him driving him as an Uber driver. Yeah. Do you like that, blue collar loser? You like that your job is referenced here? Depending on the state, it could be legal. Yeah. Here in Texas, 17 is legal. So yeah. White dude job. Yeah. Architecture. He talks like a white guy and his name's Brian. So, you know, he ain't a thugalicious boy. And to be fair, this Sue Ellen character, she strikes me as someone who's not into it. I mean, because she really doesn't like her brother. Her brother gets on her nerves. So the idea that she'd be dating another thugalicious guy just like him or older, that'd be weird. I don't think it'd vibe. I don't think it would gel right. But anyway, these two are hitting it off. They're being very cordial with each other. They're basically finishing each other's sentences. And the other thing I liked about this movie is my man actually like putting the moves on, actually like making the effort, say reading the room, saying, hey, you're going to be here when I'm back out, right? Like, hey, I want, you know, basically like really establishing, hey, I'm interested in you romantically. I appreciate that. I hate the shit where you got to pretend to be their friend, or in the movies, like the woman always makes the first move. I don't like that. Blue Collar says, I got to keep grinding, Enzo. I'll find my new wife some night. No, you won't. Not like that. You're going to find your wife like, you know, saving her from some drunk dude in an alley. Maybe that might be your better bet. Turn into a superhero, Blue Collar. Just get a police scanner, you know, and go try to solve crimes. R.I.P. Blue Collar when he gets stabbed in the throat later. No, don't do that, actually. I've actually had a few guys hit on me, says Blue Collar Loser. Well, you are a tiny man, probably with a tiny butthole, presumably, and gay men see that. They're like, hello. Plus, you're probably soft and cushiony like a woman. Now, no. Blue Collar's explained that he has extremely strong calf muscles. His calf muscles are like bulging. So yeah, but I don't think gay passengers in your car see your calf muscles. So I don't know. You might have to do something about that. So anyway, Brian's going to go inside and talk to people. And then she gets dolled up inside. She lets her hair down, gets a breath mint, drinks some water. You know, it's clear that these two are attracted to each other. They're both singing Pee-wee ass nigga together. They're singing a rap song together. I don't know what the hell. I'm just reading the subtitles, guys. All right. Yeah, and it's very clear. Hey, I like you. Like, give me your number. You know, I like that stuff. I like that. And what happens? We do see that she did drive other people this day, but because she spends her whole $120 paycheck on this one restaurant. This is another thing, poor money management. I finally got some money so we could eat. Let's go to a restaurant. You stupid kids. If I had $120 and I had to feed me and my 3 siblings, I would go to the store and buy so many goddamn eggs and bacon, rice, beans, and maybe like some kind of meat that is on sale. I bought a fucking huge pork tenderloin today for $5. $5 even. It's enough to feed 4 people easily. Guys, you gotta shop smart. Shop smart. Smart. There you go. Blue Collar Loser says the guy said he has a girlfriend, and if I ever had a guy give me a blowjob, I'm like, no. You what? You want one? Wow. New York, folks. Maybe he's just trying to get a few bucks knocked off his ride. Tomby says Blue Collar Loser is probably taller than me. I'm a hobbit. I don't know. I think Blue Collar is 5'6". So yeah, you guys, we should do like dwarf battles. The idea of Blue Collar and Tomby being like the dwarves of the Lord of the Rings group, you know, Northern English Bastard. He'd be like your drunk elf. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say, yeah, maybe Blue Collar. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, Tomby, you give off dwarf vibes more than Blue Collar gives off like Hobbit vibes. Like Blue Collar would have like the little Frodo vibes. Tomby would have a fucking axe. You know what I mean? He'd have a big battle axe in his hand. You know, I don't care how tall he is. Tomby's 5'5" also. Wow, you guys are the same height. That's so cute. I love you guys. He actually did an Army of Darkness reference. Hell yeah. Oof, you guys are short, says Black Lives. Hey, who wants to toss the dwarves, says Tomby. Well, I bet you Tomby is dense. He's probably hard to pick up, even if he's 5'5". So anyway, yeah, we're gonna spend my whole paycheck on the restaurant, and this is another thing that we see in modern movies that they do in this one, and I don't really care for it. Is the floating text bubbles, superimposed on the screen so we can see what everyone's texting to each other. I get it. You know, it's kind of hard not to do it, especially when kids these days only communicate with each other through phone screens. I mean, it's much better than, I guess, over the shoulder shots of the phone or close up insert shots of the phone screen. At least here you can kind of convey multiple things at once. Yeah, I love this kid just constantly ripping his little weed vape. So yeah, basically, if he gets $120 a day, $480 a week, minus taxes, $336. This little kid's a little idiot savant. You know, he's talking about savings accounts. He's basically saying like, yeah, you're not going to make enough money. You need a grown-up job. Now, this is what's interesting, and I don't mind it. This is a good update. Basically, how do you fake information like this? How do you pretend to be someone else and get a job you're not qualified in this day and age? Well, these kids basically talk about how they basically have like a service that will do this for you. It's like they take care of it for you. They basically create a fake social media profile, and it's like these girls, this boy and this girl basically are like the ones committing the fraud here. They basically set her up with a fake profile, a fake resume. They do all this legwork for her. In the original Sue Ellen, Sue Ellen has to, she does it all herself. You know, she lies on her resume. She dresses herself with her mom's clothes and her clothes. I don't know. There's more of a group effort here going on with the breaking the law. This is a fucked up line. Apparently the little goth girl who's 13, 12, 13 tops. She's got a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Now, I do appreciate. Now, the sister's like shocked by that, but her reaction is like, you have a boyfriend and a girlfriend? And she's got like a smile on her face. Are you like a player? It's just, no, that would not be my reaction if I had a little sister and I found out she had a boyfriend and a girlfriend in middle school. I'd be like, what the fuck? No, I did not like that. That is weird. This little girl's gonna have a fucking high ass body count soon. So yeah. Anyway, she's like, we don't really like to put labels on it. It's fucking weird, dude. That was the one. That was the line that was a little cringy, a little too modern for my tastes. Who's that? Who's the Will Smith in this relationship? I don't know. She's definitely got Jada Pinkett vibes, right? Young Jada. Oh boy. This girl's gonna grow up to be a handful. I could tell. It's just by having a boyfriend and girlfriend and wearing this kind of shit on your sleeves. Like, what the fuck? Like, if she was just wearing like a little muscle shirt, nothing weird about that. But then she puts on a fucking lace sleeves. Ew. Don't like that at all. Blue Collar says Enzo is right. I can do calf raises with 600 pounds on my shoulders. It's a curse. Yeah. If you watch our King Kong versus Godzilla we watch with me and Blue Collar, he explains how he walks like a primate. It's very fascinating. Check it out. So yeah, she sets her alarm at 6 and goes in for her interview, dresses herself, dolls herself up. She looks good. She looks nice and proper. Now this is one of the only other, there's 2 other race swap characters. One is the secretary, the bitchy secretary, who is, we find out later, and it's true in this one too, in the remake, she's Brian's sister. She's also going to be getting a job promotion working for the boss lady, Rose. Daxonar, Blue Collar is an ape man. Noted. Yes, it is true. He apparently walks on the balls of his feet. That's what he said. It's weird. Another thing that's different is, I guess uniforms aren't a thing. In the original, she works for a clothing company that makes school uniforms, which was very silly. And this one, I think it's just a straight up clothing company. And it's more for, I don't know, not high end, but it's kind of like J.C. Penney's, like, yeah, nerds shop here. Your mom wants you to shop at Libra, basically. Dexonar does correct me. Feet do not have testicles. Well, not your feet anyway. Can't see, everyone's different, So Dora the Explorer, that's funny. Spilling coffee on her. She doesn't like her from the get-go. Now, just like the original, she meets Rose and gives her resume right off the gate. And Rose is played by none other than Lionel Richie's daughter, Nicole Richie. And yeah, she basically is the big boss lady. And honestly, she's not bad in this movie. She reads her lines with emotion like an actress is supposed to. Also, Jim Dow says, racist, Dora is Mexican. Now, yeah, I'd give Nicole Richie the business if I had to. Sure. She is a tiny little woman. All right, well, I'm gonna read your resume up and down. In the original, Sue Ellen lies too much. She lies too well. She makes her resume like she's way overqualified. Rose sees her resume and is like, oh my God, you have got to work for me right away. You should not be applying for a secretary job. You should be my personal assistant. And she gets the runaround right away. Here, she does the smart thing, which is, I'm going to check your references. And of course, the references are the siblings, speaking very highly of her. Now, this is a fun scene, though. This is something that I think the original could have used. This moment where she's, checking the references, and Sue Ellen is now waiting in the waiting room, and she pulls up her phone and just starts looking up like, what are the penalties for identity theft and fraud? And he's like, says 15 years, and we cut to her eyes go wide. That's pretty funny. I mean, that's good stuff. I like that. And then of course she decides like, I should get out of here. And as soon as she leaves, Nicole pulls out of the corner, not so fast. So she's like, oh no, I'm in trouble. And she's like, you're not going anywhere. You're going to start right away. Your references spoke very highly of you. And of course, we get to smash cuts seeing the kids put on funny voices and pretending to be their old bosses. We'll have to take it easy on you. Tighten our belts in this weird economy. That's a fucking understatement, Nicole. So yeah, and what's upsetting is like the secretary who thought she was going to be getting this job, she basically watches her get hired right in front of her, and she has to fucking put on a smile. I kind of empathize with this lady. She's kind of getting shafted big time, especially when you know this girl's 17 and lying about everything. And this is all true with the original too. And I want to say, I don't want to spoil it, but this movie improves on this character greatly. I think, I don't know, it's personal taste, I guess. So she comes back, tells the kids, hey, I got the job. Hooray. Clean up this plucking house and stop smoking pot with your friends. And she's like, these guys are like, look, man, I'm trying to go viral with my skate videos. Now, this is one of my big problems I had with the movie. In the original, Kenny, by deciding to step up and learning how to cook and clean, he realizes that cooking is kind of like a passion of his. And he kind of says, hey, maybe I'll go to culinary school. Like that's kind of like his career path. Whereas in this movie, it's like, no, you used to be an athlete and now you're a burnout. And he's like, his whole goal is like, maybe I'll get like a bunch of followers. You know, they later reveal that his skating videos are getting like 1 million views. And it's like, wow, Kenny, I didn't know that. And it's like, yeah, but a lot of fucking 12-year-olds get millions of views on YouTube. It's not really special. It's not a solid career path. It's like being an athlete or an actor or a comedian. What else? A YouTuber. These are not what we call safe career paths. Yeah, Black Lives. So he's blue collar, but for skating. Yeah, exactly. Daxner says, I'm tightening my belt so I don't get hunger pains. Yeah, that was funny. That was a funny line in the original. Fathead. Yeah, go inside. Wake up at 6 a.m. this time. This is a funny line. This is a funny part right here that's updated for the modern times. She wakes up at 6 just like she did yesterday, except this time it's a Monday, I'm guessing. And she gets ready and goes out the door, and she looks at her phone, and this is something that I've seen happen to me. We've all had it happen where you're like, all right, I'm going to work, and you look at your phone, and it goes from like GPS ETA 22 minutes, and then all of a sudden, wait, what's this? Blam, 50 minutes, just like that, doubled it. Yeah. I gotta say, when I lived in Austin, you know, you drive from the north side to the south side of town, it's about 40 minutes without traffic. But when there is traffic, you're talking about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours sometimes. Usually, if it's light traffic, it'll add 20 minutes. It's a solid hour. But sometimes in the morning or at 5 p.m., yeah. So what I would do is if I had class at 9 a.m., I would wake up at 6, walk out the door at 6:15, and get on the road. And I'd get there around 7 a.m., 2 hours early. And what would I do? I'd just go in the library and do homework. I would do my classes homework like, 2 hours before I had class, plenty of time. And then after school, if I got out at 5 p.m., again, instead of, the traffic would die down around 7 p.m. So I would just, again, stick around for 2 hours and do homework. That actually helped me a lot. I remember I lived super South Austin, and sometimes you would see the traffic like on the overpass on the freeway near my house. And you realize like when the traffic is backed up that far, it's like, dude, don't even bother. Don't even bother getting on the road at that point. I don't miss it. Don't miss it at all. So anyway, get to work. She says, I'm sorry I'm late. And Nicole Richie's like, fucking dude, I know how traffic is. I know how traffic works. I've lived in LA for 30 years. Don't let it happen again. Tommy says, no, that makes sense. GPS usually expect car speeds, but she started walking, and as soon as the GPS detects movement, it recalculates speed and the time and destination. Oh yeah, totally. It does do that. Because like Also, you have to understand, like, there's no traffic, and then there's a little bit of traffic, and then a little bit more traffic. Sometimes you'll be watching your estimated time of arrival like increase as you're on the road. You're like, what the hell? It's the worst. Don't recommend living in a big city. So anyway, on to work. I'm going to show you around. We're going to do the big tour, meet everyone, know the ins and outs of the business. I want to say this is the first part of the movie that actually made me laugh. Now, word for word, same thing. Anytime I tell you to do something, I want you to say, I'm right on top of that, Rose. And of course, yeah, right on top of that, Rose. It really fries their circuits when you do that. Now, this is the one of the parts that actually made me laugh. She's like, hey, I got a good feeling about you. Bring it in, sis. And Tanya puts down these paperwork. Oh, I'm going to give you a hug. Here we go. And then she goes in for this hug, and this is funny as hell. Whoa. A-frame hugs only. I didn't spend 3 hours in a sexual harassment course for nothing. So they hug they hug with the A-frame. Got a hug like that. That was funny. I got a chuckle out of that. Anyway, back to the house. We have no groceries. They're making random hodgepodge meals, trying to satiate their hunger. And she's like, well, I don't get paid for a while. Of course, we know that she's going to find the company spending card later. Daxonar says that's not a real hug. I agree. Yeah. Tommy says, so my let's move to the U.S. is avoid the cities. Got it. Yeah. I would recommend, live in a small town about 40 minutes from a big city. That seems to be the best way to do it. Small town for life. I agree. Black Live says, I'd get right on top of that if you catch my drip. And avoid the cities and avoid the rapey hillbillies. Everything in between is good. Yeah. You don't want to go too remote, Tommy. That's another thing. You don't want to be like living somewhere where the nearest grocery store is like 45 minutes away. That sucks. Live somewhere near a store. That's really, if there's an HEB nearby, it's the greatest goddamn grocery store on the planet. I went there today. It was wonderful. Like I said, I bought a giant pork tenderloin for $5. It was on sale. $1 or something a pound. Hello. Probably have to cook that tomorrow. Whoa. Who you calling a negger? Again, that was funny. These Brian has a sense of humor. All right, guys. He's hitting on his girlfriend. Trying to I'm not negging is what he's saying. Okay. And of course, Kenny, he's being a bum, smoking weed, drinking beer, being a lazy asshole. Reminds me of that town Perfection from Tremors. Yeah, you don't want to live in Perfection, because like, let's say you live in a town like Perfection and there is like a small grocery store. That guy who owns that store, he basically owns you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you do. You go to a town like Perfection and you open the grocery store. You got a goddamn monopoly on your hands at a certain point, We're the only place you can buy bell peppers for miles, Where else are you going to go? You have to shop here. It's like in those tiny remote towns where the only internet provider they have is Comcast. Ugh. I was making fun of someone the other day for having shitty internet. I was like, oh, Comcast? They're like, it is. I was like, holy shit. It was Atreus. Yeah, that's who it was. Atreus. He's a funny guy. Looks good in a cowboy hat. So yeah, I need you to be resourceful, Kenny. I need you to fucking do something. Clean up the house. Do the dishes. He says your mama gonna whoop ass for breakfast for breaking her dishes. What does he say? He doesn't say the dishes are done, does he? He does. He says it verbatim. He says the dishes are done, man. He's not using a BB gun though that has a gunshot sound. Instead, he's doing baseball. I assume because he played baseball when he was younger. Still, why the fuck are you gonna smash glasses? You have to understand, now you got pieces of ceramic plates all over your lawn. What happens next time you mow the lawn? I mean, you know what I mean? You got to go out and pick all the little pieces. I remember on 4th of July, we'd light fireworks and firecrackers. And then, yeah, what did mom do? Make you pick up every little piece of fucking trash, every little piece of firework debris, firecrackers. And after you do that all day, you're like, Jesus, I don't ever want to light firecrackers off again. It's too much trash, too much waste. So yeah, this is how she finds out that Brian is Secretary Girl's brother. Seeing his face on her phone one day when she's when he's calling her, and she does the classic thing. She's like, "Is this your boyfriend?" And the secretary's like, "Ew, no, that's my brother." And she literally says, "Stop fucking looking at my phone, you weirdo." And yeah, that's the appropriate reaction. Breaking ceramic on the lawn is some enhanced ignorance. Well, to be fair, they did it in the original. You know, shooting the dishes like they're clay pigeons. So anyway, the main thing is the secretary does not like Sue Ellen. Tanya, obviously. Why would she? She stole my job. Also, in the original, this lady is a white lady, and her little boss boyfriend, her little work husband, is David Duchovny. And in the original, they have like a couple vibe. Like they're definitely like probably banging. In this one, this guy is flamboyantly gay. In case you can't tell from his outfit, but yeah, he's like tech support. He's like the IT guy. He's just there to fix people's computers and talk with a lisp. And he actually is very resistant to her hating Sue Ellen. He's basically there to talk her down and tell her, hey, don't, just let it go. You're just going to get in trouble, which I don't mind this new dynamic. In this day and age, like, you can't be having like petty vendettas against your coworkers. Look, she got the job. You'll probably get another promotion later. Don't worry. Yeah, don't slash her tires or whatever. Anyway, Rose is telling Sue Ellen, buy this guy, a friend of ours, this company guy that we do business with, buy him a bottle of Blue Label. And she's like, how do I do that? And he's like, oh, there's a company credit card. In the original, she has a fucking drawer of petty cash, which is way crazier because, you have petty cash. Petty cash is like a huge lockbox with a bunch of straight cash dollar bills, hundreds, 20s, whatever. And I assumed the reason why we did petty cash was so we could buy strippers and cocaine. But now in the stupid 21st century, we have these dumb credit debit cards. So everything you spend it on can be tracked, traced. I guess you could go to an ATM and pull money out, but I don't know if that's allowed with company cards. You could go to a grocery store, buy some groceries, and ask for like some money cash back, but still, I think the limit you can get cash back is like $100, $200. I don't know. It's not a lot. I want $1,000 cash to take the executive businessman from Japan to the titty club. So, that's why petty cash comes in handy. I got to say, though, having a slick little black card to store in your wallet and has unlimited spending, that's a pretty good idea. I think the limit they say is like $1,700. So that's basically what they say her next paycheck is going to be. So these stupid kids, she comes home with groceries, Golden Grams, basically high processed crap. She buys her bubbly soda that she loves. No actual food here. When you come home from the grocery store, you should have the stereotypical like celery and a baguette, sticking out of there. I'd imagine there's like bags of rice and beans and maybe some meat, some veggies, some starches, some proteins. Not a bunch of fucking cereal. Not a bunch of like processed grains and chips and shit. Can't live off of it. Frozen food, Hot Pockets. No. But of course, Kenny's very excited. He's munching. And oh, check it out. $1,700 is my first paycheck. I'll pay it right back. Check it out. Don't ever do that. That's the thing you can't do anymore. You can't even let anyone hold your fucking card. You know why? We'll see why later. Blue Collar says, I actually get a decent amount of cash tips, so I always have cash on me. You guys hear that? Blue Collar has cash on him. If you're in New York and you want some easy money, just ask for an Uber driver and request Blue Collar and have a gun, and he'll give you cash. There you go. Hey, bubblies are actually really good. It's carbonated water, not soda. I know. The point is, like, you know, you have, I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. I buy a 12-pack of soda, it lasts me a month. You know, I'm not a big soda drinker, but if I had groceries to get, I don't know, get some milk, get some water, bottled water, tea. I don't know. I'm not big on the beverages. Get some juice, maybe. But we know black people don't like juice. They like drink. No, I'm joking. I want that grape drink. And that's the other thing. This movie is not overly stereotypical black people. Like I said, like they literally just change their skin color and kind of keep everything else the exact same. And it doesn't seem out of place or unbelievable or anything like that. Me and the boys will ask nicely this time without jumping him. It says black lives or black knives. Ah. If you guys watched last night's stream, you understood that reference. Blue Collar Loser got his ass jumped by black guys a long time ago, and he showed us some grisly photos of his bashed up face. It was cool. So anyway, you're the only black person that can say what and sound racist. Ugh. I'm not even gonna repeat what she says right here, dude. It was bad. Okay. Now, first date with Kenny, or I'm sorry, Brian. This is actually a nice little change up. In the original, I made fun of this on the We Watch. Brian has the right idea. He's got like the Thurgood method of dating women, and that is take her out on a romantic, free walk on the beach. You know, take her out like this Brian does. Take her out to a scenic walk in the California, the LA hills. You know, because it doesn't cost anything. Yeah, buy her some flowers, or don't even buy them. These are probably just picked. You know, he just got them off some lady's yard. But yeah, he's got the right idea, especially for the first date. Take her out to the beach and just get to know the bitch. What's wrong with how he said homies? I don't know. It was how she said homies. She said something about her. She made fun of his homies, and he told her, "Man, you're the only black person that can say that and sound racist," which I guess was funny. I don't know. Anyway, this new Brian, like I said, instead of taking her out to the beach during the nighttime, he takes her out on a scenic walk in the LA hills during sunset. And this is one of those parts where it was some cringe came up, but then it was quickly subverted. Stolen from the grave, says Jim Dell. Yeah, maybe that's where those those flowers came from. We walked past a cemetery on the way up here. So he's going off on some shit about oh yeah. Meanwhile, Kenny's making a burnt lasagna. He's learning to cook. And little boy has a savings account stashed away. He buys a pizza and eats it all to himself. And meanwhile, back at the date, Brian is talking some flowery shit about how he wants to be an architect and build buildings that last forever or something. And cringe line comes in where Tanya says, and when did you start going to therapy? And he says, without blinking, he's like, 15. Is it that obvious? I don't like this idea that everyone needs to go to therapy. I actually think therapy is a sham, a waste, a fraud. I think only select people should actually go to therapy. You know, I don't think it's one of these things where everyone needs to go to therapy. No, unless you're dealing with some serious like mental shit, then yeah, go to therapy. But this idea that like, oh, it's just going to help you do what? Help me do what exactly? I don't understand. Most of these therapists are more fucked up than I am, you know? So what do you want? But she basically says, yeah, I had a feeling you were going to therapy because most guys don't get so deep on the first date. And he says to her, your whole conception of a first date is flawed. And more cringe, she says, okay, then you mansplain a first date to me. And again, yeah, what the fuck is this dialogue? Yeah, I was like, ew. I was kind of like ew at this point. But then right after this, Brian, he kind of wins me over with a smooth fucking line. What does he say? He's like, well, your whole conception of the first date is wrong. Mansplain it to me. And he says, well, first of all, this isn't even our first date. Our first date was when we were in the car together, hanging out, driving around. And obviously, Sue Ellen says, no, because I was working. I was not on a date. You're insinuating that basically because I was being paid to hang out with you. So basically you're insinuating I was kind of being a whore. She doesn't say that, but she's, nudging. And he says, hey, you're going to want to agree with me because you don't want to kiss on the first date. And he fucking lays one right on her. Hell yeah. It's like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Telling a girl, I'm about to fucking kiss you. Get ready. And it's not just telling her, you get right in her face. You stand this close to her. And you can tell right away if you're going to get the kiss because you get this close to a woman, you look her in the eyes, and if she doesn't like recoil backwards and put her head back here, her face is like willingly like right up against yours and she's looking you right in the eyes. You have to kiss her. Nowadays in modern movies, the woman always makes the first move. I was very happy how, she went from saying all this cringe feminist crap. And what did he do? He turned it right around on her and fucking made out with her. Hell yeah. Blue Collar says, I won't do therapy. I want a brothel. That eliminates 99% of my problems. Yeah. Black Lives says most therapy is just paying for validation. You're better off looking at motivational videos on YouTube for free. Exactly. I've always joked that therapy is basically when you pay a leftist until you agree with them. That's you just pay a leftist. You hang out to talk with a leftist until they start to instill all their beliefs onto you. Dexonar says Jim Dow, either or, but it's very important you play tetherball with her as well. So yeah, anyway, Brian, he's got the smooth move. I appreciated that. So I'm going to forgive that cringe dialogue coming out of Tanya's mouth earlier because our boy Brian kind of sealed the deal. They are now officially a thing. Cut to work. She's back at work. And this is where we meet Sue Ellen's lover boy, who in this one, instead of being an older white guy, business dude, this is a younger black man who is like in charge of accounting, I think, something. But yeah, she's basically saying like, yeah, I've got a young black stud basically on standby, which honestly, quite the power move for Rose. Rose is coming out on top. He does look gay, Black Lives. I agree. He's probably a gay actor. Could be. He's not gay in this movie. He's quite a philanderer. That's, same in the original, obviously. But we know he's a philanderer because when he leaves and, gets a date set for Rose, he leaves. And she's like, damn, Rose, didn't realize you were dating the younger guys, young black dudes. And she says, yeah, it's great. They have extra stamina. They're awesome. I mean, sure, I had to kind of twist his arm to be monogamous. Wink, wink. There you go. There's your hint that he's kind of going to be sleeping around. But yeah, they've taken it to the next level, Rose has said, And meanwhile, gay best friend of the secretary is repairing Sue Ellen's computer. And I don't remember. He's given her, he's basically giving the angry secretary, some more advice to just make friends with her. Because look, she is Rose's little pet project. So if you're angry with her, Rose is going to be angry with you. So just be nice to her. And Jim Dow says HR is dropping the ball here. I've seen countless micro and macro aggressions. Yeah, honestly, save so much company money, whether you work at Disney or Libra clothing company, it doesn't matter. Fire the HR department. The HR department should be one guy, a fat white dude in a basement somewhere, and he doesn't want to be bothered. That's who the HR department should be. And HR is only going to get involved if there's like a serious infraction, like a physical assault, a cyber stalking, blatant verbal threats. This is when HR is getting involved. Okay, otherwise, I don't see the point. It's just a waste of money. So anyway, secretary bitch, I can't remember her name. She's trying to be nice. Now in the original, Sue Ellen and the secretary are like fucking, enemies, but Sue Ellen doesn't even realize that. So she needs these QED reports done. And she contacts another coworker, a new lady, and delegates her to do the QED reports. In this one, it's kind of a nice, like, we're getting rid of an extra unnecessary character by having the secretary do the QED reports. She's like, I am going to, I'll do these for you because I can help you with that. So it's like kind of her ways of trying to make amends and trying to, get off on the right foot. Now, Tanya and Brian go out to a arcade. They have a nice date, taking pictures, riding motorcycles. She's wearing this top. Like, guys, if you're going out with a girl and you take her to an arcade and she's dressed like this, she's definitely down to at least get to second base after this. Okay. She's like, she's wearing tight jeans and some kind of like, I don't know, decorative tank top. She's all dressed up. She's dressed up like she's going to some club. I don't know. You're probably gonna get lucky. And you guys are all touching and straddling each other. Like, you're in the zone, dude. It's a done deal. Unless you say something really atrocious on the date, you're probably gonna get lucky. Also, he lets her know that, hey, I won a scholarship to the American architecture or whatever, and I gotta go to this dinner, fancy coronation thing, and I want you to be my date. Again, way better than just being a clown dog delivery driver like in the original. The original Brian, he was a nice guy, a good kid, but kind of he's not going to be paying for any all-inclusive trips to Thailand or anything anytime soon. You're going to be living with the clown dog boy eating clown dog. All dressed up and no one to blow. Roger Murtaugh. Yeah. Girl doesn't get all dressed up like that if she don't want a penis near her. Okay. Or maybe she does. I don't know. Kissing, spinning, doing all that stuff. Some weird thing about crows going on. And stuck in traffic. This is a nice little extra sting that the original didn't have. She's stuck in traffic seeing live Instagram updates of her friends in Spain just to add extra insult to injury. Nothing like that happened in the original. And I think it would have been better for it. Because that is shitty. You got to go to shitty office work when you should be partying, eating paella. Going back, homeboy Kenny learning how to cook, getting better at the food. The dishes are, getting done. And another 24 hours ain't enough time to fill out Martyr. What? Yes. Okay. Oh, was that a reference to BET? Oh no. Self-aware. I don't like that. Anyway, dealing with the company people, she tells Nicola, Richie says, hey, we're losing money across the board. Everyone's losing their mind. Quarter sales are down for the third time in a row. Mama needs her medicine. Let's go to happy hour. And also, this is great. As she's walking out, taking Sue Ellen to happy hour, keep in mind you're about to go get some booze, unwillingly, unknowingly. She says, hey, fabulous job on the QED report. And as she says that, secretary overhears like, oh, that bitch is like taking credit for my work. So it kind of just like fuels the hatred even more. So it's a good thing that that other character was eliminated and Secretary is now the QED report girl. It kind of adds that tension, you know? We're going to go to this fancy restaurant, this fancy cocktail bar and have cocktails. And this is this is the second time I actually audibly laughed in the movie. Tanya says, I'm going to have a Long Island iced tea with all this bullshit in it. And Nicole Richie just says, ew, no. They have the best Manhattans in town. We'll have 2 of those. And that wasn't the part that made me laugh. But the idea is, you know, going back and forth, telling her this stuff. Just, you know, about what the hell they're doing, if they're what she wants to do with her life, you know, all this crap. And she's trying to talk about how what kids want, what the youngsters want. And Nicole Richie's like, well, honestly, you know, you're a little old to be, you know, have your finger on the pulse and you know, you graduated a certain year. She doesn't realize, she's saying like, oh, well, my friends' kids, they like clothing like this and they like this. They want, she's talking a lot of sustainability crap, which I don't really get down with. She's talking about how, you know, using secondhand clothing, it helps with the, you know, people's environmental footprint, that kind of crap. I guess that's what kids care about. Ugh. I would be the old crotchety businessman CEO. Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that shit at all. But yeah, this is the part that made me laugh. In fact, I'm going to see if I could play the audio. Now, if you can't hear it, that would be funny, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to hear this. She says, isn't this so good? Isn't this Manhattan so good?
This is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
So good. It's delicious.
That was actually funny. That was actually funny where she's like whispering, it's delicious. And she sticks her tongue in it. Honestly, a good Manhattan is awesome. I love me a Manhattan. And if you're a woman and you like Manhattans, you've probably been around the block a bit. You've probably seen some shit. You've probably done your fair share of drinking and drugging and partying. If you're drinking Manhattans. So more power to you. But young Tanya, you know, she's a little 17-year-old. She wants to drink Long Island iced teas. What's in a Manhattan? It's a good rye, usually a rye whiskey, and cherry for garnish, and I want to say sweet vermouth. So it's a pretty simple drink. It's one of those awesome drinks where you're mixing alcohol with more alcohol. Let's actually, I want to say, I think there's bitters in it too, right? I've made them before. I should know. Am I missing anything? Yeah, rye or Canadian whiskey. I prefer rye. Sweet red vermouth. Yeah, Angostura bitters and a cherry. So yeah, that's right. I didn't miss anything. It's a very simple drink. And if you're really fancy, you're going to use one of these super expensive cocktail cherries. Those fucking black cherries. What are they called? Those are the best damn jar cherries. You're talking about a $10 jar of cherries, you know? And you're like, God, that's expensive. And then you eat one of them and you're like, fuck, what the hell? Those put those maraschino cherries to shame. Sounds delish. Yeah, it is. Tommy says the second you said sweet, I was like, that sounds gay. Yeah, but I mean, you don't want to be drinking rye whiskey with dry vermouth. That'd be harsh. The sweet vermouth, yeah, it's not a sweet drink. Do not get it twisted. A Manhattan is basically a glass of whiskey. It's a glass of whiskey with some like some bitters and vermouth. Those are like what are those called? When they use carrots and celery and onions. What are those called? Aromatics. It's like a whiskey with like aromatics in it. It's a good drink, good cocktail. But yeah, I do prefer just a glass of Jameson with ice. That's what I like. When I come to the U.S., I'm going to bring some Glenfiddich. Yeah, Glenfiddich. That's a good one. Yeah, I honestly, yeah, call me basic, but yeah, glass of Jameson on ice. It's so smooth. It's the smoothest whiskey. You can just drink it like water, I swear. The first time I ever projectile vomited in like 8 years. Oh yeah, when you had sweet vermouth. Yeah. Blue collar drank like a whole bottle of sweet vermouth. You drunk idiot. Blue collar, for being such an alcoholic, has like the worst choices in alcohol. Like he doesn't even, he drinks, right? But he doesn't know how to make good drinks. I want to teach him. If I ever visit Blue Collar, or if he ever visits me, like, yeah, I'm gonna teach him how to make some high-end cocktails at home, so you don't have to poison yourself with sugar. Tommy has a few bottles of Glenfiddich's Grand Reserva. It's sublime. It's going to be a good time. Hell yeah. That sounds expensive and awesome. I like that. Also earlier when Nicole Richie was buying a bottle of Blue Label for somebody, don't get bottles of Johnny Walker Blue Label. That's a waste of $200-300. You just get like a nice single malt scotch, $50. I would prefer just a handle of Jameson for $50. Like you could, for the same price, you give me a huge bottle of some nice Irish blended whiskey. If you got me a bottle of Blue Label, I don't know. You should just get me a bottle of Red Label and save yourself $250. Really, like it's not necessary. Seems like a waste. It can't be that much better, right? Seems like they're just. It's like getting Cristal. Like it's $300 a bottle because people can brag about buying $300 bottles. It's not like it's actually worth $300 a bottle, right? Anyway, yeah, this is funny. She comes home and is alarmed to see the house. The house is full of arcade games and takeout food and all kinds of crap. And she's like, how the hell did this happen? And it's actually pretty funny. Wait.
How did this happen?
Oh, I don't want to be sharing audio anymore. That's bad. That's bad for copyright. Drunk is drunk, says Jim Dowell. Yeah, I agree. But there's different types of drunk. Like whiskey drunk is way different from wine or beer drunk, tequila drunk. Like whiskey dick's a thing. Like your dick can't get hard if you're too drunk on whiskey. Tequila, your dick is ready. Tequila is like, it's almost like an aphrodisiac. Bell's palsy drunk for the win. Jim Dowell says, I don't care how I get there as long as I don't go blind. Yeah. You don't need to drink any moonshine. I've had some good homemade brandy moonshine. Holy shit. You just drink a little bit of it. Blue Collar says everyone else, Gooch Cannoli does the 10-second ahead feature, and I've been having no issues. Yeah. The 10-second issue. Yeah, I do. That's what I'm doing. Normally, like when I did The Matrix, I went through the movie ahead of time and took screenshots for specific parts. I could have done that for this movie. I'm definitely going to do that for Hereditary. This movie, I don't think it's that necessary. We're kind of just comparing and contrasting to the original. And yeah, basically you kids are fucking in trouble, man. It turns out that they spent $1,200 on games and crap. And it's like, it's okay. You told us that you're getting paid $1,700. It's like, that's not how it works, you dumb little shits. I'm going to get fired. I won't get my check for $1,700. And also it's going to be less because of taxes. You idiots. Anyway, I got to go out on another date with Brian. Now, this is funny. He's trying to tell her that you're about to eat the greatest taco in L.A., which is a bold statement, and he's aware of that. He's like, look, L.A.'s got a bunch of awesome taco spots, and you're about to eat the best taco in L.A., so I'm going to ruin tacos for you. This is true if I ever make you tacos. If I ever make you chicken tacos or breakfast tacos or my shrimp chorizo tacos or what other awesome tacos do I make? Yeah, you're going to be like, holy fuck. I can't really in good conscience buy a breakfast taco anywhere else. I would just show you how to make it. Honestly, I'd be like, here's what you do. Never get overcharged for shitty scrambled egg tacos again. Tequila is pretty tasty, says Dax. I prefer silver in my day and age. When I was younger, it was all about the añejo, the fine aged expensive tequila. But now I just want a good clean silver. I want a good clean blanco. I want the tequila. I want to taste the agave. I want to taste that plantiness. I want that planty aftertaste. I want it to taste like a vegetable, you know? Blue Car says, I won't lie, that bottle of vodka with the cranberry juice tore me up for a few days. Yeah, you got to stop buying pre-mixed crap and stop drinking zero sugar mixers. Like if you're going to drink vodka and cranberry juice, use real cranberry juice or cranberry cocktail or whatever. Don't get sugar-free cranberry juice. It's bad for you, bro. Tomby says, Daxonar, I'm a whiskey snob. Pretty much all I drink now. Hell yeah. Daxonar says, Tomby, vodka is my go-to, mostly because it's cheap. Rum might be my favorite. As far as vodka goes, I would recommend Zelka. It's Polish from Russia. It's very cheap and very good. Living here in Austin, everyone loves Tito's because Tito's vodka is like made here in Austin. I don't understand the hype. It's so expensive for what it is, especially since it's locally made. You'd think if I was getting, vodka made from the source, it'd be cheaper because you don't have to pay for, exporting anything. How is it that Russian vodka is cheaper and obviously better than the stuff here in Texas? I don't get it. It's all about the stature, I guess. Blue Collar says, I had Taco Bell today. I used the app. Shit is getting expensive. Yes, it is. Why'd you do that? Gold rum. Daxonar likes. Yeah, I do like a good rum. I like a good, what's that drink where you muddle the lime juice and the sugar and the mint and you just mix it with that not that special type of rum. Is it gold rum? I don't know. Run vodka through a Brita filter. It makes it 100% better. That is true. Yeah. You can take some decent vodka, run it through a Brita filter, and it'll be really decent vodka. Yeah. New vodka said made in Texas. Zelka, is that how you spell it? No, it looks like it starts with a T and a Z. Let's see here. I want to find this out because it's like Russian spelling. Oops. Oh, yeah. Here we go. This is how you spell it. Yes. Okay. Holy shit. Yeah, I would never have guessed this. This is how you spell Zelka vodka. All right. I'm putting it in the chat. It is spelled Gzhelka. And the bottle label looks like this. So let's go to images. Zelka. Zelka's a decent, cheap, not cheap, but it's really good for the price, and it's, from the source. So I recommend Zelka if you can find it. Good luck reading it, I guess. So sneezing while saying Godzilla. Got it. Yes. Thanks, Maine. No, you're welcome. All right. So anyway, back to tacos. She's distracted though, because she's about to go to prison, so she can't enjoy the taco. And this is where these two are going to have like their first fight. But it's okay. As they're leaving though, this is another change that I don't mind. In the original Gus, the Rose's little girlfriend is hitting on Sue Ellen. He wants to have sex with Sue Ellen. In this one, they're just at a taco shop and they just happen to see him making out with another woman. Now you have to understand there are 7 million people who live in LA. So the odds that you run into someone in LA are pretty, it's pretty cool. It's pretty, astronomical when you think about it that way. So just happen to be walking past, this guy, and she gives him the talking to, she tells him, hey, I thought you and Rose were monogamous. What gives? And this is another part I laughed at. I thought this was a funny ass line. He says, he's like, you were just sucking that woman's face. And he says, we're in an improv class and we were just rehearsing. And she says it best. She says it right as I was thinking.
Improv class. And we were just rehearsing.
Well, if you're in an improv class, then why are you rehearsing?
That actually made me laugh, like audibly. If you're in an improv class, then why are you rehearsing? Yeah, you got me. All right. It was a bad lie. I thought you were a stupid girl. I thought I could sneak that one past you. You're a smart little cracker, you smart little whippersnapper. So anyway, off to work. Money's bad. Lay it on me. We're gonna lose our. Wait, is this? Are we losing our jobs yet? I need the latest QED report. Our board meeting moved up, so we need it now. And then it turns out that Caroline, that's the secretary's name, Caroline enters stage left. And I've got that QED report ready to go. And check the Dropbox, by the way. It's like, what? You put the QED report in the Dropbox? And she's like, yeah, I thought it was just crazy that we would still do them on paper. It's a waste. And Nicole Richie's like, holy shit, you're delegating responsibility, Sue Ellen. Good job. Now, this is similar to the original, by the way. And also, you're also innovating at the same time. Like, who even knew Caroline had that skill? So totally like throwing her under the bus while commending Sue Ellen for something she didn't even do. So obviously, this is just like enraging Caroline even further. And she basically tells her, like, it's on, bitch. Like, I am your enemy. And she basically, Sue Ellen is making this face like all the walls are closing in. It's only a matter of time before I'm found out. It's only a matter of time before I'm going to prison. Blue Collar says, I want to buy some Deadpool gin. Problem is it ain't cheap. Deadpool makes gin. Ryan Reynolds Aviation Gin, Dax. Of course, he's making some promoting Deadpool. Oh, yeah, this is the new thing. This is the new thing. It's so funny and stupid and gay. This reminds me of like when who was it? Kate Blanchett saying she's middle class. Kate Blanchett says she's middle class. Now, I assume that means she came from a middle class upbringing, but she's certainly not middle class now. She's worth like $95 million or something like that. A lot. But I guess that's middle class for all the Hollywood celebrities. And I think the problem is she doesn't have something to sell. She doesn't have some kind of makeup brand or a gin or like George Clooney with his tequila. You know, everyone's got to be selling something. Remember back in the day when like Suzanne Summers would sell like the Ab Master or whatever, the Thigh Master, and we'd think, oh my God, she's washed out. She's washed up. She needs money. She's broke. She's desperate. What a fucking cringe. What a embarrassing endeavor for some celebrity to start selling something. Now it's like a rite of passage for these celebrities. Like if you don't have some high-end gin that you're selling with your name on it, then what are you even doing? I guess it's because they all know that the celebrity model is collapsing on itself, and we don't give a fuck about any of these actors or writers or directors or musicians. We just want you to sing the song, read the lines, and we really don't give a shit about what you're doing on your day-to-day. We really don't care what you're doing offset. We really don't. We really, really, really don't. So I'd Ryan Reynolds promised a single drop of his sweat, and I heard Ryan Reynolds promised a single drop of his sweat in every bottle. I'd buy it. Oh, if that's what you're trying to say. Like reverse gamer girl water. Yeah. Daxner says he doesn't think he would. You know how much Dan Aykroyd made off his vodka? Dude, I've bought the Skull vodka, the Crystal Skull vodka. I've had a bottle or two. In fact, I don't know if I ever told you about the Dr. Tiki's medicine, but yeah, one year at Memorial Day Flipside Rave, it was the year of Dr. Tiki's medicine cabinet was the theme. So we were doing like, you know, I don't know, African blood, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like black magic, that kind of stuff. Medicine man, that kind of shit. That was the vibe. Tiki masks and tiki torches and, you know, all that stuff. Lays and luau's. That was the vibe. So we brought a bottle of Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull vodka, mostly just because it comes in that awesome skull glass bottle. And we put, because we make infused vodkas, right? That was kind of our jam. We would take, you know, fruits and vegetables and shit and herbs and spices and put them in the bottles of vodkas and have, 1,000 different flavored vodkas. And we just mix and mash and pour them into glasses and mix them with all kinds of stuff. Made some delicious vodkas. Coffee vodka, blueberry, vanilla vodka, lemon vodka is probably the most popular thing and the easiest thing you can make. Buy a shitty bottle of vodka and seriously peel some lemons, put them in there. Put the lemon in the vodka and then drink that vodka in a day or two. As soon as you open the bottle, you will smell it. It's just like the overwhelming aroma of lemons will hit your face. And again, that's so much better than buying like artificially flavored lemon vodka crap. If you want like lemon flavored vodka, just buy regular vodka, put lemons in it. It will be lemon flavored. If you take strawberries and put them in vodka, it will taste so much like strawberries, the vodka. Also, the strawberries will lose all their color and they'll look like little white strawberries floating in the bottom. The other thing, dude, if you want blood red vodka, put some blueberries in there. That vodka will look like pomegranate juice, dude. It's crazy. Tommy, fuck it, just make absinthe. Yeah, I used to drink absinthe a lot. I was on an absinthe kick in my early 20s. It was awesome. I was getting the real stuff too. And yeah, speaking of absinthe, this Dr. Tiki's vodka we made in the Skull vodka. What we did is we infused this vodka with. It was LSD. Put a bunch of LSD in the vodka. We also put a bunch of psilocybin mushrooms in the vodka. Wormwood extract, which you get in the absinthe, which makes you all feel all funny. A bunch of it. A bunch of THC extract, tincture. And then what else? We didn't put any meth or heroin in it. Nothing that crazy. But yeah. Shrooms, acid, weed, and wormwood. We put all that in the vodka. Like a lot of it too. So if you took one little shot of this vodka, you would be like, that was funny tasting. And then you'd walk off. And like 30 minutes later, you're like, I am fucking tripping, dude. I am feeling weird. It was awesome. That was great. Another thing that was awesome was the Green Dragon vodka. I know a lot of people use Everclear when they make Green Dragon. But yeah, take your vodka. Or one time I made Green Dragon Jameson. That was awesome. Take a bottle of whiskey or vodka and just put a bunch of weed in it. Just put your weed in it. Just take a few like nuggets of weed and just drop them in there. And then wait a few weeks. The weed will literally dissolve. The booze will get this dark green color to it. And you will get fucking stoned drinking that stuff. Like, it was one of the few times I got hungover out there. It was like a weed hangover drinking that stuff. Awesome. Anyway, yeah. Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull vodka. Man, the way people describe absinthe sounds so baller. Well, I was drinking this stuff mostly because I liked the way it tastes, and it was refreshing. You would take the absinthe, right, the green stuff, you put it in a little glass, and you'd drop a sugar cube in there. And this is important, and this is something you never see in the movies, but then you take ice cold water, like as cold as you can get it, but you don't want any actual ice in the absinthe. I mean, it doesn't matter, but traditionally you leave the ice out, you strain the ice out, pour ice cold water in the absinthe, and then the absinthe will go from this like clear green color to a milky white color. And that's called the Lausch, I think it's called. But basically, like what it does is like all those aromatics that are in the absinthe, they're water soluble. So like when you add the water, like it just really wakes everything up. And of course, like if you don't like the taste of licorice, you're not going to like absinthe. So it's an acquired taste for sure. But yeah, just drinking like a cold glass of like the milky white absinthe, that's been laushed and everything, especially with a little sugar cube, for taste. It's really good. I like it. And it gets you fucking drunk too, because it's like 60, sometimes 70% alcohol. 50 definitely minimum. It's not 40%. It's stronger than your typical booze. But I got a funny absinthe story. I was getting absinthe every year for my birthday for a while there, like a big fancy expensive bottle. And I would also throw a big party at my house. Usually get a keg, make a big old fucking cooler full of jungle juice or something. And one time my buddy Forrest showed up, and Daxidar, this went from a movie breakdown to an alcohol education stream, and I'm here for it. Yeah, just a little segue here for you. Funny story. My buddy Forrest, he's the first dude at my house at the party. The sun's still up. It's like in the afternoon. We're just like hanging out, getting our stuff ready for the house, the shindig. And I have my bottle of absinthe. And he's like, dude, you got some absinthe? Hell yeah. Let's take a shot. I was like, you're not really supposed to drink a shot of it. And he's like, well, I'm going to do a shot. And he pours a shot of absinthe and drinks it. And then proceeds to projectile vomit like chunky fucking dinner all over my kitchen sink. Luckily, he got it in the sink, and cleaned it up easily. But Jesus Christ, he was like running out of his nose. You could tell it was like one of those painful vomits, where you're like, you lost all your lunch and your eyes have become bloodshot and watery afterwards. And your head's like throbbing, like you violently vomited, And it was so funny how quickly it happened. He just went from like, shot down, just like instantly lost his dinner, lost his lunch. It was amazing. I was like, normally I'd get upset about somebody vomiting all over my kitchen, but that was so funny. It was worth it. So, yeah, shout out to my buddy Forrest. Brutal. Yeah, don't do shots of absinthe. Like I said, mix it with cold water. You'll thank me. All right, so anyway, like I said, back to the movie. Sue Ellen, the walls are closing in. Caroline, Facebook stalking her. Now she's stalking her fake profile that her siblings made for her. And she's like, even says like, it's so crazy. It's like she has no bikini pics, like nothing offensive at all. It's like, dude, don't you know how people like set their profiles to like private and shit and friends only, things like that? Anyway, again, this guy, instead of in the original, him being David Duchovny, just like, yeah, we're going to get her, babe. Instead, he's just like, yo, you should probably just let it go. Like, you're not leaving mean comments on this woman's profile, are you? Like, just leave her alone. So yeah, you need a hobby is what he tells her. Now, this was one of the stills I shared. This is a literal line from the movie, and another part that made me laugh. She pulls it home from work, texting Brian, obviously, and we need to get together. Yeah, we should. Hear it because I'm not sharing audio. But she suddenly realizes, like, what the hell's that noise? Like, I'm hearing like commotion, like a party. And she says, where is it? Where's the sub? What in the black ass hell? I've never heard anyone say that ever. And it's hilarious. I'm stealing this shit. What in the black ass hell? Like, anytime I see like someone, some ghetto party going on, some ghetto booty party, people being all ratchet and shit, I'm gonna say, what in the black ass hell is going on here? I'm gonna say it like Yosemite Sam too, so it sounds extra racist. What in the black ass hell's going on around these parts? No, I'm just kidding. Blue Collar says there is actually a list I just signed up for because they are making special bottles for Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh no, I want one. What in the Asian Hades is going on in here? Yeah, that's great. But yeah, she's going over, and this is very similar to the original movie, except instead of it just being 4 or 5 stoner dudes and Sue Ellen trying to take a bath and relax, she comes in the room. She's like, you guys fuck off. You guys are being loud assholes. You're not getting it seriously. She does the same thing, except this time it's like a big pool party with weed brownies. And everyone's fucking having a good time. He's swimming, getting kisses. And yeah, same. This is funny. The sister shows up and tells everyone to get the fuck out. And they're like, dude, your mom's a bitch. It's like, that's my sister. She's like only a year older than me. 2 years older than me. It's very funny. But yeah, he's basically, and this is something that was again in the original that I like about the movie. This role reversal. You've got the sister who's, going to work, paying the bills, and you've got the brother who's doing the housework, doing the cleaning up, and they're both fighting. Like, hey, while you're out doing work and playing this fashion con job, I'm over here actually taking care of the siblings. I'm over here making sure they're fed, they're clean, their clothes are doing, the house is clean. I'm trying to do all that, and I'm not getting any credit here. I'm doing my best. And it's like, well, your best isn't fucking good enough, But yeah, Team Crandall. So apparently one of your hoes doesn't understand what everybody out means. And she says, I tried to leave, but your car's blocking me in. And I'm not a hoe. I'm a virgin. If you're going to slut shame someone who's actually a slut. Now, that's a line that I did not find funny. Found it stupid. I mean, if you're a virgin, you know, you're not a hoe. You're hanging out with a bunch of hoes. You're a hoe in training, you know, going to this like hip hop party wearing a bikini. You know, I mean, you're hoping a boy was going to feel you up. Don't lie. Don't lie, young lady. But it is funny that she's blocked in. I can't leave because your car blocked me in. I mean, that's pretty funny. But yeah, didn't get a laugh out of me on that one, I'm afraid. So I think the laugh count on this movie is 3 so far. But then again, like I said, would I have laughed more if I hadn't seen the original? Maybe. It's hard to say. It's difficult to say. So anyway, how good is Melissa skateboarding? Apparently, Melissa, the younger sister, she ate weed brownies and she's going to try to skateboard and she falls down right in front of them. Also, by the way, the brother Kenny used the credit card to buy not only arcades, but also a skate ramp. And you see, I'm sorry, I think I skipped that part. I didn't talk about it. How did they get the credit card? Earlier, when he looked at the credit card, when he held the credit card for just a few seconds, we cut to the flashback of what he did. He pulls out his phone, and just like these fucking fast food employees, they take your credit card and they just take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back. That's all you need nowadays to steal everyone's money. It's pretty awesome. So that is how they paid for the skate ramp and all the arcades and beer and stuff, using mom's company credit card, who's actually your sister, not your mom. But this is one of the changes that I think was unnecessary. Instead, you have I don't know. It kind of works out. The goth girl is the one who gets hurt. The little sister is the one who gets her arm broken. In the original, it's the younger brother who gets his leg broken, falling off the roof, trying to fix the satellite TV that they bought. In this one, the brother's being lazy and doesn't realize the little sister ate a bunch of weed brownies and thinks she can skateboards and she hurts herself. Either way, the motivation's the same. The younger brother kind of feels guilty, and this kind of is his call to action. This is his time where he realizes, I got to step it up. I got to take care of these kids, you know? And these two basically, even though they're siblings, they basically become mom and dad. And, you know, again, this is all true with the original too. This is why the original is such an underappreciated classic, because it's got these great themes and moral lessons and quandaries and what have you. It's good. Elevated kids movies. I like it. So yeah, we're going to keep going with the con. But this is the problem I have with the movie, the remake. This is a big problem I have with the remake. They have to squeeze in this shit about how Kenny is actually doing all right because of his skateboard videos, and he's getting 500,000 followers. And, you know, and my sister's not even one of them. You know, it's like, yeah, that's great, Kenny, but also like, no, you should also still try to get a real job. It was better in the original, where by learning to cook for his family, his siblings, he realizes he likes cooking and he wants to take a career in culinary arts. I mean, obviously that's probably less lucrative a career than a YouTube celebrity, but I think cooking is a surer way to make money. Trying to be a YouTube celebrity is ask any of us. It's like fucking what? It's like trying to win the lottery. It's like I'm just going to the casino every Friday, and you know, hopefully something good will happen with that. Yeah, odds are it might work out, but if it doesn't, it's gonna be embarrassing. All right, don't put all your chips in that basket, or at least don't be teaching the youth of today to put all your eggs in that basket. Stop telling kids they need to be athletes, actors, comedians, YouTube stars. Stop it. Tell them to become an architect like Brian, you know, tell them to become a civic engineer who, you know, tell them to become someone who designs sewers. Hell, just be someone who maintains sewers. I know it's difficult. to look at a woman in the eyes and say, I'm a trash man. But fuck, you probably get benefits. Probably, got holidays off. I don't know. Has there ever been an influencer type character in a movie show that wasn't cringe? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because influencers are cringe, they're always made fun of in movies. And I think it's because film celebrities are threatened by YouTube and social media celebrities. I've said this before, guys. If you want to make a shitload of money in your next Marvel movie, don't cast fucking Glenn, what's his name? Don't cast Sydney Sweeney. Cast PewDiePie. Okay? Cast that YouTube reaction guy who could barely speak. You will be shocked how many more people turn up to that dumb movie than if you were to put like an actual actor celebrity in there, Yes, I know we all like the Wednesday Addams girl and some of these other character actors, but Jesus Christ, if you were to put PewDiePie in a Marvel movie, just imagine here. I know it sounds terrible, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to make money, that's what would work. Technical manual jobs will be the hardest for the robots to take over. Exactly. Plumbers, architects will soon be AI. Architects will be AI sooner rather than later. Plumbers, however, maybe. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, it's understandable to use that angle. Yes, it's understandable, but I don't agree with it. I don't like it. That's the one problem I have with Kenny's character. There's a part where he should have been like, this whole YouTube shit is gay. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to go back to playing baseball. No, that wouldn't have worked. Mr. Beast. Put Mr. Beast in a movie. Holy fuck. All right. When Mr. Beast goes on Joe Rogan and tells 50 million teenagers anyone can do what I do and it's easy, what the fuck do we expect? God, he's a douchebag. Complete color loser hates Mr. Beast. I think he's just jealous. Yeah. So anyway, continuing on. Normally we'd have to report this, says the ambulance driver, but because I'm also a black single mother, I'm gonna loosen up, let y'all slide on this one. Normally I'd have CPS get involved because the kid ate weed brownies and broke her arm, but I'm gonna be cool this time because we sisters. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? I found that part a little, I don't know, unbelievable. That's these people's jobs, is to figure out a reason to take away your kids and turn them into products of the state. One little slip up and your kids become government property. That's the plan. That's what they want. Anyway, Sue Ellen, why are you tired? It's bullshit. Mr. Beast is a phenomenon, says Dax. That totally goes over my head as to how he blew up like that. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it either. Anyway, are you still down for my scholarship ceremony tomorrow? You're going to fall so hard for me, so much harder. And then what does Tanya do? She leaves him on red because she gets distracted. Oh man, don't give me the bubbles, he says. That's the last text he sends her. And then she goes outside and finds out that her siblings have cleaned up the house and prepared a wonderful little dinner for them. It's very Spanish themed. It's paella and I think mussels and other fish that they eat, and fish and tomatoes. That's what the Spanish like. They like spicy fish with tomatoes. Yeah, I mean, it's very nice. Good job, Kenny. You're doing good. He took that stupid grill off of his face. Yeah, things are moving on up. But then, drama. The company's closing. We're going to have to close it down. And this is where Tanya's like, oh, no, I'm going to get in trouble. Don't worry, Tanya. With my recommendations, you'll be all right. She says, I was saving this bottle for a special occasion, but I guess the start of my next chapter of life is, a celebration as much as any. So, yeah. Turns out Tanya's got an idea, and this is just like the original. We're going to put on a fashion show and show these investors that we still mean business. And she helps this lady at the thrift store find something that fits her or suits her. And the lady says, "Thank you, ma'am." And she gets upset about that because she's 17. Anyway, apparently her friends are back from Spain, so she calls in a favor. This is like what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, assembling the Avengers. We're gonna put together a big old-fashioned show, and we're gonna do it at my house. Oh, wait. Turns out the boyfriend is here, Brian, and it turns out that Sue Ellen forgot about the graduation ceremony dinner. She stood him up, and she's like, "Oh my God, I thought that was next week. And I'm so sorry." And blah, blah, blah. Little fight. And he basically says, like, "Yo, I thought I'd at least get an apology. You haven't even said you're sorry. You started yelling at me because I'm over here saying, where the fuck were you?" She's like, "Look, I'm busy. I have stuff to do." It's like, "Why won't you tell me about anything going on?" Because she's lying about everything. That's why. Tanya, this is genius. We just use your company card and we'll rent a ballroom or something. It's like, no, let's not do that. Let's just show them we got the message about spending, and we'll do it at my house. I have a huge fucking backyard. Okay. And now we're gonna have the kids do free unpaid child labor, just like in the original. And we're gonna make a bunch of hors d'oeuvres, all this stuff. Now this is all, God, I swear, even the living room is the same as the OG movie. It's like the same layout and everything. It's weird. So yeah, you guys know the drill. They're gonna do a nice little montage of them cleaning up everything, getting everything ready. Caroline being a catty bitch as usual, hating Sue Ellen's guts. We're gonna set up a runway, get the ADT going. Jim Carrey? What? I don't remember. Caroline is in the original. Caroline is like figures out that she's 17 years old and like tries to tell on her. And Rose doesn't even give a shit. She's like, "I can't believe you're so petty and vindictive that you would make this shit up." This Caroline just seems to be going with the flow. It's strange. Now Kenny shows up. He didn't chop all his hair off like in the original. He did put his hair back, I guess, but he did get rid of this awful grill in his teeth. I don't understand the grill. He's showing his real teeth. Look at his lovely little chompers. That's so much better. That's an upgrade, Kenny. The girls are going to like it. So yeah, you guys are saving my life. They're all banding together. They are becoming a unit. It's very important. And of course, Rose shows up. We have got all this stuff here. And then Gus shows up. And what does Sue Ellen do? Just like in the original, she throws him under the bus. "Yo, I saw Gus making out with somebody." And she's like, "What the hell? We're through." All right, there you go. Girl power, I guess. Yeah, and this is all pretty much note for note the same as the original. We've got all of her friends showing up and doing fashion runway stuff. What's interesting, though, we do get a little bit of the gender queer. Our clothes don't need to, be for him or her or them. They can just Hotel Oscar Tango. Hot. Give it up for our little they, them buddy. It's the only pandering we get in the movie, really, though. So, whatever. I'm surprised there wasn't more. And then, yeah, give it up for everybody else. Now, this is a big problem I had with the remake. In the original, we get the suspense. We see that Mother is pulling up. She's seeing the party. She's like, "What the hell's going on?" And then we cut to Kenny, who's trying to get Sue Ellen's attention, like, Mrs. Crandall. And she's like, "What?" behind the podium with the microphone. "What is it, Kenny?" And he's like, "Mom's home." And like, there's this reaction where like everyone's like, "Oh no." And then the camera cuts over there to the back porch. And you see Mom with her arms folded like, "Sue Ellen, what the hell's going on here?" That was better. In this one, we have just randomly, guys, don't leave the house before midnight. All right, we're gonna party all night. And then all of a sudden, she's just right behind her magically. You all need to leave right now. And yeah, Jim Dowell says, yeah, it's a good thing this runway is reinforced. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. She's a big fat bitch. Get it? Yeah, everyone's got to leave. And, okay, so now we're back to note for note with the original. She kind of gets defeated. She tells everyone, all right, you heard her. It's time to leave. You all need to go. Nicole Richie's like, what's happening? She's like, I lied. I'm only 17. I lied to get this job. It's like, I can't lie. I can't keep lying. Everything's snowballing into a big ball of lies. I can't do it anymore. She runs off. I'm sorry. And then just like in the original, Rose is like, hey, fuck yeah, dude. I hired, it's like in the original, like they don't care. All the investors are like, oh, she's 17. That's ballsy. Can't believe you hired a 17-year-old to put on that this runway venture. Is this very impressive? So yeah, again, they don't even get mad at her. It's great. And then of course the boyfriend shows up with a big wheelbarrow full of stuffed animals because of some gay conversation they had. Another thing that's interesting about Caroline during the presentation, she actually gives Caroline a shout out. She's like, look, now we're digitizing our QED reports thanks to Caroline. And Caroline has this moment where she smiles. So like the fact is, like, Caroline and Sue Ellen aren't even really enemies in this movie. They're kind of like the message is like, look, we're all black women. We should be getting along. We should stop fighting each other. You hear that, black ladies? You need to get along with other black ladies. And I'm not being sarcastic. I really mean that. I think black ladies need to band together better. I fucking black ladies like tend to hate each other, dude. It's crazy. So Caroline, she's like, okay, well, she's actually very happy also because now that Sue Ellen has been found out, she's going to swoop in and get that position that was technically entitled to her. So that's good. And she meets her brother. What the hell are you doing here? Oh, I'm dating the 17-year-old. They don't actually say that, but they should be saying that. You're like, oh, Sue Ellen's my girlfriend. Like, that's nice. Wait, did she just say she was 17? Like, yeah, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. I don't know. I mean, it's not really about legal or illegal. It's just weird. Now, this is fun. Who is this? Who's this blonde lady? Who's this blonde white lady? Daxonar. Uh-oh. Do you know who this is? It's the original Rose. You may know her as Dolores from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You might also know her as the snake lady from Blade Runner. Yeah, there she is. And there's a great moment where her name's Joan. Where does Joan come from? Is Joan? She was named Rose in the original. Is Joan the actress's name? Maybe. But anyway, Nicole Richie walks by her. Is like, where do I know you from? I'm Joan. Oh, great. It's like, have we met before? No. And that's it. That was this is some nice fan service nod to the original. I don't mind. It's always good seeing this lady actress. I heard Joan comes from an arc of some kind. Yeah. Maybe this is the actress's real name, Joan. Maybe she's just playing herself, the actress. Anyway, this is one of those celebrity cameos I actually not only didn't mind, I actually put a smile on my face because of it. It was a fun little interaction. Anyway, just like in the original, Mother's realizing, holy shit, what's happened here? Like, I want to yell at you, but the house is clean and I can see my son's teeth. And he's talking about, like, what kind of crepes do you want tomorrow, Mother? Do you want sweet or savory? And she says sweet. It's like, honestly, Mom, I'm going to make an executive decision. I think we should cut down on the sugar. Think no more sweets. I can do something savory and then maybe put some fruit in there that isn't, loaded with sugar. I don't know. I think we're going to have get Mom on some kind of plan here. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we could hook Mother up with Gus, since Gus just broke up with Rose, right? I don't know. Would you girls mind having Gus as your stepdad? Man, that is a hunker. She's a large woman. I don't know. I could take one for the team and satisfy this lady, but yeah, she does have a big flat nose, doesn't she? Look, I don't want to say that woman looked like a gorilla in a wig, but she kind of did, right? I'm sorry. She's built like a damn silverback. Or a running back. She's built like a linebacker. Yeah, a football player. Anyway, we're all going to come out, make amends. Everyone's going to kiss and make up and be friends. And yay, that's it. But then all of a sudden, Nicole Richie, are you going to have me arrested? Hell no. In fact, I'm going to give you a job and I let you keep you on payroll as a remote employee. And I'm also going to help pay for most of your tuition if you go to this college. It's like, holy shit, a fashion design major. It's like everything's working out all because I lied. That's the moral of the story, kids. You have to lie. No, but really it's like when you have that initiative, people like it when you broke a little rules to get your way. They do. It's actually cool. So yeah, fuck the A-frame, she says. Oh, who cares about the A-frame? Bring it in. And they do a real hug. So there was a setup and a payoff there, Dax. So it's good. It actually worked out. Now, I'm not saying this movie is amazing or anything, but yes, it's a fun little adaptation. And this is the fun part. This is the stupid. This is some more cringe. We have to end it on a little bit of cringe. Now, I want you to hear it. This is some more nostalgia. The movie's wrapping up. They finally said their amends. They gave each other a good hug. And what is playing in the background? What are we hearing? It's the fucking original music to the original movie. I love this song. And that was something me and Amateur Analyst talked about a lot when we watched the original. The soundtrack for the original is baller. It fucking rocks. The score is cool, and the songs they use are also cool. So it was awesome hearing this music once again. It works. It even works in a black people movie, you know? It's so 80s with the finger snaps and the echo. Sounds like some good 80s shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it does. But yeah, then we got to end it the same way the first one did with Mom.
Tanya? Where the hell the babysitter at?
Instead of her saying, "Where's the babysitter?" she go, "Where the hell the babysitter at?" And then we hear the literal record scratch like, "Hup, the 80s music's over." That's all the nostalgia you get. And in the original, the movie just hard ends right there, which is so fucking perfect. Instead, in this one, we get one extra little moment where Mom has been told the truth. We fucking threw their fucking dead body in her car and threw her car in the lake. And what does she say to that information, knowing that your kids have disposed of a fucking dead body illegally? What is she going to say?
Y'all did the right thing. God, they would have shot all y'all little niggas.
What the hell? They would have shot all y'all little N-words. Now, that is cringe, but it's also funny. I'm sorry. That is cringe and funny at the same time. That is quite the line to end it on. And she has a big glass of whiskey and a fucking oversized bucket of popcorn, all for her. Well, that's all, folks. Yeah. Yeah. And then we end with some ghetto booty music. That makes her an accessory to the crime, right? And then, of course, we see the montage. Now, in the original, we have a cut to the funeral people who are like, God, I can't believe those kind old people dropped that poor old lady off with no identification and a big bag of money. Oh, well, let's go spend more of that money. In this one, they're literally like, first of all, Nicole Richie meets up with Kenny's friend, who we find out is a 20-year-old because he's been held back twice. She literally asks him for his ID, and I guess they're going to start fucking, which is a little weird, but whatever. It's been established she likes younger guys, and hey, he's a handsome dude. If I was a 40-year-old woman and this 20-year-old man wanted to knock my boots, I probably wouldn't say no. But then we cut to more complications. They do find her dead body. They're fishing the car out of the lake. And they say, yeah, the woman appears to be found with a shitload of booze in her system, is what they literally say. And she's they have it turns into a warning for old people to stop drinking and driving, and they just kind of move on, and that's it. And they all get lucky. Now I gotta say, while I do think this movie isn't atrocious, I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually not. I think it's kind of good, but the original is just so much better. I'm sorry. The original is just timeless. I just have to side with the original. So there we go. Another 3-hour stream breaking down an hour and a half long movie. Overall, I would give it 2.5 stars. If you haven't seen the original and you saw this, I'd probably say you give it 3 stars. But yeah, the hard cut is a way better way of handling it. I agree. I don't know. I want to say this movie wasn't totally meritless. I don't want to be extra hard on it. It's easy to just go, oh, it's woke, it's gay, it's crappy, it's terrible. It's like, look, it can be woke and have cringe dialogue here and there. It can also have some funny moments in the same movie. These two things are not mutually inexclusive. So yeah, I would have to give it, for me, a 2-star, 2 out of 5. Decent. I would only recommend it if you are a young black kid who hasn't seen the original and you have no interest in seeing the original. Then yeah, watch the remake. Otherwise, check out the original. And if you even better, watch the original We Watch that we did on my channel. If you want to hear me, an amateur analyst, having a good old time laughing at it. But yeah, I can't believe that this movie's already come out. Feels like just yesterday we were hearing about it getting announced. So time is moving faster than normal. But yeah, I am excited to watch Adaptation tomorrow on Blue Collar Losers channel, tomorrow bright and early around noon. Let's double check. When did Toxic say? Let's see here. I like the comedy. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. When does Blue... Yeah. Year 12. All right. Noon. All right. So it looks like noon CST. We'll be watching Adaptation on Blue Collar Losers channel. Then after that, we'll be on Nielsen's Outcast Creative, doing the Nielsen ratings. I'll briefly talk about this, but I'm also going to talk more in detail about the movie Trim Season, which was a horror movie about weed growing. Yeah, 9 hours from now. Excuse me, Blue. It's almost 2 in the morning. You're right. And yeah, after that, after Nielsen ratings, I will be on not Gooch's channel. I'll be on Gord King's channel to discuss Collateral in Tom Cruise's probably his second best role ever. And yeah, Jim Dowell will watch it over breakfast. Hell yeah. You guys have been great. I appreciate y'all hanging out. And for Wednesday, the We Watch, I'm thinking it's going to be Dreamscape. Dreamscape's going to be cool because it's me, Gord King, and Sammy 3-Pete ripping on the Dennis Quaid Dream movie that inspired Nightmare on Elm Street. What else? Inception. So many other dream-centric movies around that time. So yeah, look forward to that. Also, if you haven't seen the Ewok double feature, check it out. You're going to see Wilford Brimley's taint twice in that movie. Battle for Endor. So yeah, 10 hours from now, 9 hours from now, same shit. We'll see you guys then on Blue Collar's channel. And yeah, special thanks to Dax and Jim Dowell and Blue Collar driving around drunk, doing Uber. Special thanks to Black Lives, Black Knives. Tomby was here. Hell yeah. We've also had a few lurkers not in the chat. Appreciate all y'all. Also, Jamalama had to bounce early to get to bed. Hope you sleep well, friend. And I hope all of you sleep well, friend. Now, Zach's also stopping by, talking about Medea. Hell yeah. Glad you guys made it. Also, special shout out to NATO. Thank you for stopping by. Also, Lord Toxic. You guys are all cool. And I'll see you all tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great week. And yeah, I think next Monday for Stupenzocast, Nix has been here as well. Thank you, buddy. How's it going? You're one of the lurkers. Hell yeah. Good stream. Good stream indeed. Yeah, and Monday, so Sunday for Tales from the Dork Side, we're going to do a Father's Day special because it will be Father's Day. Now, if you're a dad and you can't make it on the panel, I understand. We're going to be talking about our favorite dads, kind of like how we did Mother's Day stream. Just talk about all our favorite moms in movies. Talk about all of our favorite, father-centric films. So that'll be fun. And then Monday, I think I'm going to do a Stupenzocast dissection on Hereditary. And I'm not joking. I think that might be a bit on the long side. I might start it a little early. I might end it a little late. Might be about 4 or 5 hours long. I'm not joking. Hereditary is one of those movies that if you don't understand why it's so scary, the stream might literally be cursed. So we're going to be talking about some scary ass shit next Monday. I'm thinking, unless some breaking news happens and we end up talking about that. So yeah, I'm just glad that I didn't have to do a Headland stream. I was going to do a Headland stream and talk about Leslie Headland, but then I ended up watching this movie and I was like, no, I'd rather talk about this than fucking Acolyte. So, what's a good film to watch with my what's a good film to watch with my kids as Blue Collar? Commando? Yeah. Me neither, but I feel enriched, says Dax. Jim, thanks. I didn't know I needed a MILF Manor stream. I didn't know I needed a Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter remake stream. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And yes, we will be doing MILF Manor season 2, episode 4, 5, 6 in about a week or two. So expect that. I can't just leave y'all hanging on that. And also, I think eventually I will also pick up Last of Us and play that occasionally. I think I'm just going to start streaming random days, random nights, random weekends. I don't care. But yes, Jim, Nix, you guys are great. Nick says, you ain't living till you see some MILF Manor. The MILFening. Yeah. We're all turning into MILFs. First, we all turned into Tomby. Then we're going to turn into MILFs. That's how it works. All right, guys. So exactly, says Nix. You guys are great. Thanks again for hanging out. And I guess I'm going to play us out with, let's play us out with some gay.
Thank you very much. Where's gays for Trump? You don't look good.
He said you don't look gay.
Kiss me, I'm Irish.
Well, you at least get a pretty hot co-star, you know?
Yeah.
Haley's smoking, huh?
Oh, I thought you meant special.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
This is awkward.
Well,
Yeah,
but
Haley's cute too.
yeah.
I'm gay. Actually, I'm not.
So you know how you shave your own head, right?
Yeah.
All right. So have you ever just shaved the whole thing? Yeah, shave your entire body.
This guy's help here.
They asked me to ask you.
What?
Yeah. Before you come out, they're ask him if he shaves his whole body.
Help me.
Ask him, does he go completely or is it a little airstrip? What does he do? Yeah.
You know, I have to admit, I was a little bit nervous about doing this interview.
Relax, guy. I like gay men, you know.
That's great, but I'm not gay.
I don't believe that.
Why Ryan Reynolds kissed Andrew Garfield?
Really? Is that really a question? Why?
I know. Have you seen Andrew Garfield?
Have you seen him and Andrew Garfield?
Yeah. I didn't even know I was kissing him until I found out when I got home that night. There should be a map just to get out of his eye.
Actually, I've only had that one movie come out, and no one even told me it was premiering. It must have slipped my mom's mind.
Wait, what was the movie?
My sex tape.
Thank you.
Who would you say is the best looking?
The best looking? Oh, really, Hemsworth?
Did I say that?
Why you said it so
That
fast?
was a Chris Hemsworth. Sorry.
So much.
I'm Hi.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. Sorry. We just kissed on camera, and I liked it. Oh my god, that was great. Obviously, kind of.
There's just gay people everywhere. If you're not gay, you're a weirdo.
What if one of your children grew up to be not gay? Would you still love that child?
No.
You would not.
You to be uncomfortable.
I like to slouch.
Well, I'll have a slouch.
Yeah, okay.
Just what's going on here? What's going on here? That's my. Why are you facing that towards me? I'm facing it towards you because you subconsciously asked me to face. Yeah.
You're sure. No, you're the king. You're
all right.
Yeah, welcome to my show. And who's in charge?
All right. Let's start again. All right. Let's start again.
All right, let's start again.
Hi, Ricky. How are you, dear?
I'm not too bad, actually.
Oh, hey.
I don't like men.
Oh, no, neither.
That article.
That article.
What article?
What article? What article? Where did you go to school? The Everglades? I'm sorry.
For every new thing you teach us, you open the world to us like a stubborn coconut.
You have always been a huge ally for the LGBTQ plus community. Why do you connect to that community?
I think that I just don't.
Some fans kind of sensed some chemistry between your characters. Potentially there was a romantic past. Was that intended, or is that something that the viewers have just picked up?
We have such good chemistry, and we're so sexual as beings that we just know. And why is it we go to that voice? I don't know, because that's sexy? Not at all. Oh, okay, it's not sexy. Apparently.
You don't find me sexy?
No. Debbie's been inside for a long time. And
inside jail.
Not inside me.
You just I didn't even go there. You brought
I'm down to that level. Oh,